No hesitation, no countdown, Jesus!
Well, we have to get the show on the road. We're like 8 minutes late.
I'm still in my underwear, Susan!
Good God, man!
I'm always just in my underwear.
What am I gonna do with you?
I don't know.
Anywho, so hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. Today we are continuing our review of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything because we were unable to finish it last time.
My puppy's having a moment.
I noticed. But she is a cute puppy.
I think someone's here.
Okay, cool. Anywho, so last time we got through a good chunk of the book. We covered some of the changes to character customization Tasha's introduces.
Yeah. And we talked, and we talked, and we talked, and we talked, we talked.
We got through a good chunk of the subclasses and through the classes and their new subclasses, and now here we stand at the Paladin.
We got halfway through. We have halfway to go.
Yep.
And then, so much more.
Yep. Now, for those of you who are new to D&D who are watching this stream, Paladins are holy warrior, what we like to call half-casters. They're essentially if a fighter and a cleric got thrown in a blender. With some new other stuff thrown in. We call Paladins half-casters because they only gain spells up to 5th level instead of 9th level like all the other caster classes.
Well, all the full casters.
Yes, all the full caster classes.
Looks to the next two classes we're going to be covering. Ranger and Paladin. I think we're in the half-caster section.
Yeah. So, Paladins are made unique by their abilities, by their restorative and divine damage dealing abilities. They have the ability Lay on Hands, which lets them heal somebody for a number of hit points, where the maximum is 5 times their Paladin level, just by poking you. That can be a huge game changer in combat. Anywho, new optional class features.
Woo!
And it appears we get new
spells!
At 2nd level, we get Gentle Repose, Prayer of Healing, and Warding Bond. At 3rd level, we get Spirit Shroud, which is new to this book. And here we get Summon Celestial, which is it was in 3.5, but has made a return in Tasha's.
Picture. New fighting styles!
Blessed Warrior, you learn 2 cantrips of your choice from the clerical spell list. They count as paladin spells for you, and charisma is your spellcasting ability for them. Whenever you gain a level in this class, you can replace one of these cantrips with another cantrip from the cleric list. Basically, if you want to put more spellcasters into your, we want to put more spell chucking into your, paladin.
If you want Toll the Dead.
Yes. Blind fighting. Exactly what the fighter class fighting style blind fighting is.
Interception, same as the fighter class one.
Yep.
Keep up, people.
Yes. Harness divine power. You can expend a use of your channel divinity to fuel your spells. Paladins can channel divinity even if their paladin oath is not to a divine being. I just want to make that clear. As a bonus action, you touch your holy symbol, utter a prayer, and regain 1 expended spell slot, the level of which can be no higher than half your proficiency bonus rounded up. The number of times you can use this feature is based on the level you've reached in this class. At 3rd level, once. 7th level, twice. 15th level, 3 times. You regain all expended usages when you finish a long rest. That is huge, especially considering that paladins use their spell slots to use one of their biggest damage-dealing features, the Divine Smite. And yes, being technically paladins in concept are cleric fighter multiclassers, but these new things sort of delve more deeply into that.
And paladins are the only things that can smite!
Yes, smiting is unique to paladins, despite what other spells might be named. Martial versatility. Whenever you reach a level in this class that grants an ability score improvement, you can replace a fighting style you know with another one available to paladins. This replacement represents a shift in focus on your martial prowess. Martial practice, my bad. At third level, a paladin gains a sacred oath. These two options are new to broad spectrum D&D, Oath of Glory and Oath of the Watchers.
Oath of Glory is a pullover from Theros.
Yep. So if your DM tells you, you can't use this because it's Theros exclusive and we're not playing in Theros, you can now tell them, here it is. Now let me do it.
Shove it, it's in Tasha's.
Now, I get to do my bit where I impersonate Tasha. Her thoughts on the Oath of Glory. You're it. You're the winner of the Cosmic Fortune Lottery. Oh, and you're going to tell absolutely everyone about it? Just great.
Oath of Glory, boisterous motherfuckers. Ah, damn! I just woke up, so give me that one.
I'll give you a pass. Paladins who take the Oath of Glory believe they and their companions are destined to achieve glory through deeds of heroism. They train diligently and encourage their companions so that they are all ready when destiny calls. Now, paladins, their oaths have things called tenets. The tenets of the Oath of Glory drive a paladin to attempt heroics that might one day shine in legend. Actions over words. Strive to be known by glorious deeds, not words. Challenges are but tests. Face hardships with courage and encourage your allies to face them with you. Hone the body. Like raw stone, your body must be worked so its potential can be realized. Discipline the soul. You must marshal the discipline to overcome the failings within yourself that threaten to dim the glory of you and your friends. Wow. And Bean, it is not that Tasha has something against paladins. It's more that she's just a snarky woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she has all of the snark.
Allow me to run through the features quick?
Yep. Blitzkrieg.
It's what I'm good at! So at third level, taking the Oath of Glory, you gain the following Oath of Glory spells. Guiding Bolt, Heroism, Enhanced Ability at level 5, Magic Weapon, Haste at level 9, Protection from Energy, Compulsion at level 13, along with Freedom of Movement, Commune at level 17, and the reason you take this oath, Flame Strike! This spell. I love this spell. 4d6 fire, 4d6 radiant.
Just
F off.
Right on something's head.
Your channel divinity options. You can become a peerless athlete, gaining advantage on athletics and acrobatics checks, double up your carry push dragon lift, and doubling and increasing the distance of your long and high jumps by 10 feet.
But this extra distance costs you movement as normal.
Thank you. Or you can turn it into an inspiring smite. After hitting something with your divine smite, you can channel divinity as a bonus action and distribute temporary hit points to a number of creatures. It just says a number of creatures, which can include you.
Your choice within 30 feet of you, which can include you. This number of temporary hit points equals 2d8 plus your level in this class, divided among the chosen creatures however you like.
You can choose as many creatures as you like, apparently, though. That's the part that has me stumbling.
Yeah, but the thing is...
Seventh level.
The thing is, given most party numbers, I doubt there's going to be that many people within 30 feet of you.
It depends. If you're fighting a large-scale thing, and it's like Oh, the DM simulating a war. Hit that. Everything gets 2d8 plus level?
Well, no, it's the
That's-
total number, and there's a pool you gotta divvy up.
Oh. Oh. That makes more sense.
Yep. Oath of Alacrity.
Not oath. Aura.
My bad. Aura of Alacrity.
At 7th level, all paladins gain an aura from their subclass. At 8th level, they get one just for being a paladin. Your 7th level Oath of Glory feature allows you to emanate a 10-foot radius that increases any ally that starts within 10 feet of you, increases their movement by 10 feet. Oh no. It's within 5 feet of you. They changed this aura. Okay, that
when
makes
you
sense.
reach 18th level in this class, the range of the aura extends to 10 feet.
Yes.
Basically, if your buddies stand close enough to you, you can all move faster, because paladins, after a certain level, turn into walking buff generators.
Level 15. You turn defense into a sudden strike. When you or a creature you can see within 10 feet of you is hit by an attack roll, you can use your reaction to bonus up their armor, equal to your charisma mod.
The minimum of +1.
If it then misses, you can make a weapon attack against the attacker as part of this reaction, provided the attacker is within your range.
You can
You
use
can use this.
You go.
Okay, thank you. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your charisma mod, and you'll gain all expended uses when you take a long nappy.
And don't worry about being late. We were a bit late too.
Yep. But here it is, the big one. The reason paladins shine. Their level 20
Subclass
feature.
ability.
No other subclass gains you a level 20 feature except for paladins. And paladin ones are all stupid.
They are all stupidly good. The level 20 Oath of Glory feature is called Living Legend.
You empower yourself with the legends, whether true or exaggerated, of your great deeds. As a bonus action, you gain the following benefits for a minute. You are blessed with otherworldly presence, gaining an advantage on all charisma checks, which paladin charisma should be high.
Yeah.
Once on each of your turns, when you make a weapon attack and miss, you can just hit.
You can
Don't reroll.
You could
just hit.
You could just say, no, that hits. And then it will.
And if you fail a saving throw, you can use your reaction to re-roll it. Gotta use the new roll, though.
Yeah. Basically, that second feature is a great way to evade a nat 1.
Yeah, no, nat 1. No, this just hits.
But that's a nat 1.
It just hits. But I activated my Living Legend, so it just hits.
Okay, then.
Bop!
Now we have
You can't use this until you finish a long nappy, or unless you expend a 5th level spell slot to do it again.
Which, since you're 20th level, you will have those, but you will not have many.
Now, Oath of the Watchers.
Tasha's opinions. These paladins aren't at all up to what I expected. Worse, they send home your party's best guests.
Oh god, I know what she means. Damn it.
The Oath of the Watchers binds paladins to protect mortal realms from the predations of extraplanar creatures, many of which can lay waste to mortal soldiers. Thus, the Watchers hone their minds, spirits, and bodies to be the ultimate weapon against such threats. Paladins who follow the Watcher's Oath are ever vigilant in spotting the influence of extraplanar forces, often establishing a network of spies and informants to gather information on suspected cults. To a Watcher, keeping a healthy suspicion and awareness of one's surroundings is as natural as wearing armor in battle. Now, we have a question from the chat. Blinn, spell slots.
Think of them like mana points just laid out at the levels. It's not something you slot spells into. It's more of a tack-off system than anything.
Right.
You could replace the keyword there, spell slots, with spell points, and it works the same.
Right. Basically, your spell slots is a way of keeping track of how many spells at what level you can cast. It's essentially a mechanic for keeping track of what your casters can do. When you burn a spell slot, that does not... a lot of people typically put spells in a certain spell slot, but that does not mean that once you use that spell, once you use the slot with that spell in it, you cannot use that spell again. It just means you have lost one use of spells at that power.
Yeah. Spells do not... It's not a one and done with a spell. You can't cast one spell a day. You can cast Fireball as many times as you can cast a 3rd level or above spell.
Right. The only spells you can spam without having to worry about slottage are your level 0s, which are typically called either cantrips or orisons, depending on your class. And we have apparently given Bean Dark Souls flashbacks.
Woo! Way to be. That's a great place to be.
From everything I've absorbed from popular culture, no, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Don't worry. Eldritch Horrors and Abominations is the place to be. Anyway, tenets.
Vigilance. The threats you face are cunning, powerful, and subversive. Be ever alert for their corruption. Loyalty. Never accept gifts or favors from fiends or those who truck with them. Stay true to your order, your comrades, and your duty. Discipline. You are the shield against the endless terrors that lie beyond the stars. Your blade must be forever sharp and your mind keen to survive what lies beyond. And Bronze, it's not paranoia if there are actual eldritch beings out there running around.
So this is the paladin that you don't put with the warlock. This is what this is.
This is the paladin. Unless it's a celestial or archfey warlock, you do not put these two in the same party. It will not end well.
Nope.
You know that meme of just like, paladin, so what god do you worship? Warlock. I'm not going to answer that unless everybody gets cool with a lot of stuff really quickly.
Yep.
Just that meme right there. That is the interaction between this oath and other people.
Yep. So, oath spells. These are kind of fun. You get alarm and detect magic. Makes sense. You get moonbeam and see invisibility.
Also
you get
makes
counter.
sense.
You get counter spell as a paladin.
That is huge, especially given how many magical or pseudo-magical abilities things from beyond the material plane have.
You also get non-detection. You can't be scryed on.
Again,
you get Aura of Purity and Banishment.
Where you can basically go, yeah, you're going home now, stamp. Those who are familiar with the anime Bleach, the Konso ritual? I just butchered that pronunciation. The bit where you take the hilt of the sword and boop the thing in the head with it.
That's Banishing Smite.
Yeah, that is a type of banishment.
You also get Hold Monster and Scrying.
Yes, putting a warlock who is not celestial or archfiend in a party with an Oath of the Watchers paladin will not end well. Like, the DM's gonna have to whip up some rules about character-on-character combat real fast.
And your channel divinities. You get Watcher's Will. As an action, choose a number of creatures up within 30 feet to you, up to a number equal to your charisma mod. For 1 minute, they have an advantage on int, wisdom, and charisma saves.
That's kinda cool.
Yeah, just something as extra planners in front of you. Just, hey, everybody, this thing's gonna make saves, so for the next 10 rounds, if we don't kill it before then, There you go.
Yep. Abjure the Extra Planner.
You can castigate unworldly beings. Present your holy symbol. In each aberration, celestial, elemental, or fiend.
It also mentions Fae.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry, skip that. Elemental, Fae, or fiend within 30 feet of you that can hear you must make a wisdom save. On a failed, it is turned.
So this is like Turn Undead, but more broad spectrum.
Yeah. It's turn undead, but you can use it on a pit fiend. And it doesn't have a CR restriction. So you could be a level 3 paladin. There's the pit fiend. Back. Level 7, your aura.
We don't put Oath of the Watcher paladins with warlocks because this paladin's entire purpose is ending the existence of servants of extraplanar beings. Warlocks count, and turning a creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from the person who turned it as it can, and it cannot willingly end its move in a space within 30 feet of you. It can only use the dash action or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving on its turns. If there's nowhere for it to move, it can take the dodge action.
Basically, turning something tells it, get out of here.
Yes. To answer the chat, basically they not quite like that, but they do kind of act as like a guarding force. What's a good analog? Help me out here, Felix. I'm having a brain cramp.
I got nothing.
Okay then. Basically, these people keep an eye out for that which goes bump in the night. Or in the case of some...
they're the Men in Black.
Yes, they're like the Men in Black. Or the National Guard, if you want to make a real-world analog.
I don't know real-world analogs. I don't live in the real world.
Anywho.
They also gain an aura...
of the Sentinel.
Okay, you go.
You emit an aura of alertness while you aren't incapacitated. When you and any creature of your choice within 10 feet of you roll initiative, you all gain a bonus to initiative equal to your proficiency bonus. At 18th level, this range increases to 30 feet. Basically, you can make your friends better at initiative.
Yep. Vigilant Rebuke. Whenever you or a creature you can see within 30 feet of you succeeds on an intelligence, a wisdom, or a charisma save, you can use your reaction to deal 2d8 plus your charisma force damage to the creature that forced the throw.
So basically you can go, oh, you just tried to mind control my friend. Experience the natural consequences of your actions. Boom!
And then at level 20, because it's always so good at level 20, Mortal Bulwark.
You want to read this one, or can I?
Sure, go ahead.
You manifest a spark of divine power in defense of the mortal realms. As a bonus action, you gain the following benefits for 1 minute. You gain True Sight within a range of 120 feet. True Sight is basically like Dark Vision, but better. You can see through shape-shifting, illusions, all that good stuff. You have advantage on attack rolls against aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, and fiends. Although why you'd be fighting a celestial is unknown to me unless it's a servant of an evil god or your party has made some astoundingly poor decisions. When you hit a creature with an attack roll and deal damage to it, you can also force it to make a charisma saving throw against your spell save dice check, which is 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your casting stats modifier. On a spell save, the creature is magically banished to its native plane of existence if it's not currently there. On a successful save, it can't be banished by this feature for another full 24 hours. Once you use this use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest, unless you expend a 5th level spell slot first. And yes, double agent Celestials would be an option for why you'd be fighting a Celestial, but again, that is extremely uncommon, and I don't know why.
Fallen Angel?
Yeah, Fallen Angels, but not sure if those would count as a Celestial or a Fiend.
There was one thing the Mighty Nine, not the Mighty Nine, Vox Machina had to fight in the trying to find Grog one shot.
Yeah.
It was a corrupted Empyrean.
Fun!
Yep.
That was
on to Ranger.
Yes, on to the Ranger. The Ranger is...
all this is fun.
Yeah, the Ranger is another half-caster type. Getting some of Druid features and some of Fighter features.
With a little bit of Rogue thrown in for spice.
Yeah, with some Rogue tossed in for seasoning.
So, new optional class features. Deft Explorer replaces the Natural Explorer feature. This is so good.
You are an unsurpassed explorer and survivor, both in the wilderness and in dealing with others on your travels. You gain the Canny benefit below. You gain an additional benefit when you reach 6th and 10th level in this class. Canny. Choose one of your skill proficiencies. Your proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability check you make that uses that chosen skill. You can also speak, read, and write 2 additional languages of your choice. Roving.
So you get expertise in 2 languages.
Yep. Roving. Your walking speed increases by 5, and you get a climbing speed and a swimming speed equal to your walking speed. Tireless. As an action, you can give yourself a number of temporary hit points equal to 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier. Minimum of 1 temporary hit point. You can use this action a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended usages when you finish a long rest. In addition, whenever you finish a short rest, your exhaustion level, if any, decreases by 1.
Yeah, short rest to remove exhaustion. This though.
Yeah. Half-casters are, to answer your question, Blinn, they are a class that is a blend of martial and fighting where their casting list only goes up to 5th level. Mm-hmm. Classes like Druid, they can do melee battle, but they have a full spell list, hence they aren't called a half-caster. They are what we like to call a versatile caster, and are amazing to play.
Yeah, druids are fun, but they're also stupid. Favored foe.
First level replaces the favored enemy feature and works with the foe slayer feature. So basically, this makes your favorite enemy more useful. This makes your favorite enemy thing. This replaces it, but also makes it more broad spectrum and therefore infinitely more useful.
Yep.
Yes, the Eldritch Knight Fighter subclass is also an excellent example of a half-caster.
Same with the Arcane Trickster.
Yeah.
But this is fun. Who here likes Hunter's Mark? Everyone? Of course you do! This allows you to mark one target as your favorite enemy for a minute or until you lose concentration. As if you were concentrating on a spell, but it doesn't take the place of concentrating on a spell.
So
First time you hit it...
Yeah, so you can do this, and then also cast a concentration spell.
Yep. First time you hit that favorite enemy and deal damage to it, including when you mark it, you increase that damage by a d4. You can mark a creature a number of times equal to your proficiency, gain all the things back when you finish a long rest. The damage increases when you gain certain levels, a d6 at 6th and a d8 at 14th.
Yep, and Rangers get new spells to add to their lists.
Yeah, stack that on top of Hunter's Mark, on top of Colossus Slayer from one of the original Ranger upgrades, and you have a dumb thing you can do.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Now, first level. Now, Rangers only go up to 5th level, hence them being called half-casters.
Rangers get Revivify, which is...
Actually pretty good.
Love it. Especially since they don't get 3rd levels until so long into the game.
Yeah. And they get at first, their first level spells include Entangle and Searing Smite, while their new spells are Entangle and Searing Smite. They gain, at 2nd level, the new spells Aid, Enhance Ability, Gust of Wind, Magic Weapon, and Summon Beast. At 3rd level, Elemental Weapon, Meld into Stone, Revivify, and Summon Fae. 4th level, Dominate Beast, and Summon Elemental. 5th level, Greater Restoration. You can just magic a limb back on.
Yeah, you know what's gonna... No, Greater Restoration can't restore limbs, can it?
I thought it could. Oh, that's a different spell I'm thinking of, then.
Yeah, you're thinking of Regenerate.
Yeah, because I remember there being a spell, a cleric spell that...
Yeah, that's Regenerate.
Yeah, cleric, druid, whatever spell it was, that let somebody just kind of sort of glue an arm back on.
Yeah, that's Regenerate.
Fighting style options. Blind fighting. Exactly what you got from the fighter subclass.
And the paladin subclass. Druidic warrior, though, that one's new.
You learn 2 cantrips of your choice from the druid spell list. They count as ranger spells for you, and wisdom is your spellcasting ability for them. Whenever you gain a level in this class, you can replace one of these cantrips with another cantrip from the druid spell list.
And thrown weapon fighting, same from the fighter. If you can draw a weapon at the same time you throw the weapon. A lot of people just do that anyway. But when you hit with a ranged attack using a thrown weapon, you get a +2 to damage.
Which is always nice. Now, spellcasting focus.
Yeah, you can use a druidic focus instead of a ranger focus for your ranger spells.
Not that there's much of a difference.
It's flavor things, really.
Yeah.
Primal awareness.
This is something new. You can focus your awareness through the interconnection of nature. You learn additional spells when you reach certain levels in this class if you didn't already know them, as shown in the Primal Awareness spells table. These spells don't count against the number of ranger spells you know. So you can just have these for free, basically.
And you can cast them once without expanding a spell slot.
Yeah. 3rd level, Speak with Animals. 5th, Beast Sense. 9th, Speak with Plants. Why you'd want to talk to plants, I don't know.
Hey, some of my best friends are plants.
Fair enough. 13th, Locate Creature. 17th, Commune with Nature. You can cast each of these spells once without expending a spell slot. Once you cast a spell in this way, you can't do so until you finish a long rest. Basically, here, have some more spells.
Yep. 14th level.
That's 4th
you can
level?
Swap out a fighting... 4th. Wow. Can you tell I took a nap? You can replace a fighting style with a different fighting style. Same thing as from the paladin.
Oh, I just had dryads you can converse with normally, but I can't imagine a smitten ranger just like interrogating the local plants on what the cute dryad girl likes.
Yep. 10th level, Nature's Veil, which replaces Hide in Plain Sight feature.
You can essentially turn invisible.
No, you can actually turn invisible.
Oh, that's a bit more busted than I thought it was.
Yeah, as a bonus action, you magically become invisible.
Along with any equipment you are wearing or carrying until the start of your next turn.
You just go invisible.
Yeah.
You can do it a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus.
Regain all usages when you finish a long rest. Much like how standard abilities work. Like, you use it, and then you gotta rest up before you can use it again.
Yep. But next are the archetypes, which are both something.
Yes, the Fey Wanderer and the Swarm Keeper.
Tasha's thoughts on the Fey Wanderer, please.
Do you think a kilt is a vital part of the Fey Wandering aesthetic? And if not, why are you so wrong?
Gotta have that kilt. Gotta
Glad to
have the
know we
kilt,
now have
baby.
Tasha's input on kilts.
Gotta have the kilt.
A Fey mystique surrounds you thanks to the boon of an archfey, the shining fruit you ate from a talking tree, the magic spring you swam in, or some other kind of auspicious event. However you acquired your Fey magic, you are now a Fey Wanderer, a ranger who represents both the mortal and the Fey realms. As you wander the multiverse, your joyful laughter brightens the hearts of the downtrodden, and your martial prowess strikes terror in your foes. For great is the mirth of the Fey, and dreadful is their fury.
Yep. Speaking of which, here's a Fey Wanderer.
That's a human with goat horns.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, because see, he doesn't have the goat legs of the satyr.
I thought it was a tiefling.
He doesn't have a tail.
Not all tieflings do.
Oh, I thought they did.
No, it's a lot of them, but they don't all.
If we're going
But it
by...
does say that this is a human.
Yes, so he has goat horns and is green.
Hey, tieflings can be any color you want.
It explicitly states human.
Well, yeah, but I thought that was a misprint, and like, oh, it's a tiefling. Okay.
Anywho, but if we're going, honestly, we're not sure what nationality Tasha would be. If anything, given the fact that she was raised by Baba Yaga, the closest analog we might have would be Russian. At least that's where I think Baba Yaga's from. I am slightly stupid.
No, you're right.
Depending on their lineage, tieflings can come in green. They just don't come in green very often.
Tieflings can be any color you want them to be.
You might have to explain it to the DM, like, why is your tiefling green?
'Cause.
I mean, given an in-game reason why they're green.
'Cause.
They got blessed by the Fae, that's why they're green. Fair enough, moving on.
Anyway.
And, Blinn, Fae can be any shape or size. Some are tiny and cute, like you described. Others are more like a standard human and are more otherworldly and vaguely terrifying.
Yeah. Anyway.
Dreadful strikes.
Yeah. This is... You can augment your weapon strikes with mind-scarring magic drawn from the gloomy hollows of the Feywild. When you hit a creature, you can deal an extra d4 psychic damage. And it can only take this extra damage once a turn. Damage increases to a d6 when you hit 11th level.
Fey Wanderer Magic. You learn an additional spell when you've reached certain levels in this class, as shown on the Fey Wanderer spells table. They count as a ranger spell for you, but don't count against the number of ranger spells you know. 3rd level, Charm Person. 5th level, Misty Step. 9th, Dispel Magic. 13th, Dimension Door.
Hey, you want to be 30 feet, 300 feet somewhere else? Sure.
Just beep. 17th level, Mislead.
This one's fun. This one's so fun.
Basically,
you go invisible. You go invisible. At the same time, an illusory double is right where you're supposed to stand. You, invisible, can move around, but your illusory double can also move around. You can do some fun stuff with that.
You also possess a preternatural blessing from a Fey ally or a place of Fey power. Choose your blessing from the Feywild Gifts table or determine it randomly. Illusory butterflies.
There.
That's why that happens. Illusory butterflies flutter around you when you take a short or long rest. Fresh seasonal flowers sprout from your hair each dawn. You faintly smell of cinnamon, lavender, nutmeg, or another comforting herb or spice. Your shadow dances while no one is looking directly at it. Horns or antlers sprout from your head. Your skin and hair color change to match the season at each dawn.
Summer.
Yeah, that explains that dude up there.
Another third level ability.
Because they're just piling them on.
Your charisma checks get a bonus to your from your wisdom mod.
In addition, you gain proficiency in one of the following skills of your choice: deception, performance, or persuasion. This would be busted to play as an Eladrin or some other, like, Fey-adjacent species.
Yep. Beguiling twist.
You have advantage against being charmed or frightened because Feywild magic has seeped into your brain.
And, in addition, if someone you see or yourself succeeds against being charmed or frightened, you can use your reaction to force somebody else to make a save against being charmed or frightened.
So basically, you can turn somebody's mind-altering magic against themselves. That's actually pretty cool.
Yep. At 11th level,
you
can
learn
summon Fae. And you can twist it so it doesn't require concentration.
If you do so, the spell's duration becomes 1 minute for that casting.
So you can pop in a Fae for a minute in a quick battle.
Yeah, which, depending on the Fae you call in, can be huge. Misty Wanderer. You can slip in and out of the Feywild to move in a blink of an eye. You can cast Misty Step without expending a spell slot. You can do so a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, minimum of once, and you gain all expended usages when you finish a long rest. In addition, whenever you cast Misty Step, you can bring along one willing creature you can see within 5 feet of you. That creature teleports to an unoccupied space of your choice within 5 feet of your destination space.
You and the squishy wizard are bunched up. Tap the wizard on the shoulder. We're going for a ride. Pop!
Squishy wizard, okay. Ranger, yeet!
Swarm Keeper.
Tasha's opinions on the Swarm Keepers. I love insects. Organized, relentless, specialized little champions. And aligning their single-minded will with your own? Beautiful. Just keep them out of my lab. That sounds like she's speaking from practical experience.
Yep.
Feeling a deep connection to the environment around them, some rangers reach out through their magical connection to the world and bond with a swarm of nature spirits. This swarm becomes a potent force in battle, as well as helpful company for the ranger. Some swarm keepers are outcasts or hermits, keeping to themselves and their attendant swarms rather than dealing with the discomfort of others. Depending on what your swarm is, other people may have politely asked you to go somewhere else.
Yep.
Other swarm keepers enjoy building vibrant communities that work for the mutual benefit of all those they consider parts of their swarm. That's nice! It's your swarm. A swarm keeper's swarm and spells are reflections of the player's bond with the nature spirits. Take the opportunity to describe the swarm and the ranger's magic in play. For example, when your ranger casts the gaseous form spell, they might appear to melt into the swarm instead of a cloud of mist. Or the arcane eye spell could create an extension of your swarm that spies for you. Such descriptions don't change the effects of spells, but they are an exciting opportunity to explore your character's narrative through their class abilities. For more guidance on customizing spells, see the Personalizing Spells section in Chapter 3, which we will get to. Also, remember that the swarm's appearance is yours to customize and don't feel confined to a single appearance. Perhaps the spirit's look changes with the ranger's mood or the seasons. You decide!
So, at 3rd level, you get a swarm. The swarm follows you, surrounds you, stays in your space, crawling on you, flying, or skittering around. You can determine its appearance, or you can generate it by rolling on the swarm appearance table.
So we have some input from the stream. Swarm of butterflies or non-stinging bumblebees? Sure, this is fine. Swarm of roaches, wasps, flies, or locusts? Bye! Here are the example swarms. Swarming insects. Description left purposely vague. 2. Miniature twig blights. 3. Fluttering birds. That one's actually kind of nice. And 4. Playful pixies, which is adorable. On each of your turns, Once on each of your turns, you can cause the swarm to assist you in one of the following ways immediately after you hit a creature with an attack. The attack's target takes 1d6 piercing damage from the swarm. The attack's target must succeed a strength saving throw against your spell save dice check, or be moved by the swarm up to 15 feet horizontally in a direction of your choice. You are moved by the swarm 5 feet horizontally in a direction of your choice.
Which, depending on the location, that last one's nice. Like, oh, I run up, I'm out of movement, but there's a wall right to my left. Hit someone with a sniper bolt. Bye.
Just you. Miniature twig blights. Do we want to explain what a twig blight is?
Okay, think a stick bug, but instead of it being a live insect, make it brought to life by necromantic magic, and it's still a stick.
Basically, it's a little bunch of twigs tied together into a crude humanoid form, animated with dark magic, and unleashed upon the world. Sometimes they occur organically, but those circumstances are quite rare.
Wild magic, baby.
Yeah.
Swarmkeeper magic. You learn Mage Hand, just cuz.
When you cast it, the hand takes the form of your swarming nature spirits. Basically, your little swarm buddies just go whee! Grab.
Zombie trees. Yep.
Yeah, zombie twig bundles is a fantastic use of that. Yeah, no, mini twig blights are scary.
Yeah. You also get Swarmkeeper spells. They talked about Mage Hand getting it at 3rd, but you also get Fairy Fire. At 5th, you get Web. At 9th, you get Gaseous Form. At 13th, you get Arcane Eye. And at 17th, fitting for the class, Insect Plague!
Remind me what that does.
Swarming, biting locusts fill a 20-foot sphere centered on a point you choose in range.
Oh.
Spreads around corners, remains for the duration, area is lightly obscured, the area inside is difficult terrain. Each creature in the sphere must make a con save when it shows up, or takes 4d10 piercing damage.
Or half as much on a successful.
It also must make the spell when it enters the sphere area for the first time on a turn, or ends its turn there. So, you know what's fun?
What?
Set the insect plague. Hit something. Must be pulled 15 feet horizontally. Yank it back in the sphere.
Just like, get back in here.
We ain't done with you yet, buddy.
Writhing Tide. You can fly now!
You can fly, you can fly, you can fly, you can fly.
You can condense part of your swarm into a focused mass that lifts you up. As a bonus action, you gain a flying speed of 10 feet and can hover. This effect lasts for 1 minute or until you are incapacitated. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended usages when you finish a long rest. 11th level, Mighty Swarm. The damage of Gathered Swarm increases to D8. If a creature fails its saving throw against being moved by the Gathered Swarm, you could also cause the swarm to knock the creature down. When you are moved by the Gathering Swarm, it gives you half cover until the start of your next turn.
15th level is fun. Hey, do you want to do Gaseous Form, but not do Gaseous Form?
Here it is, Swarming Dispersal. You can discorporate into your swarm, avoiding danger. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to give yourself resistance to that damage. You vanish into your swarm and then teleport to an unoccupied space you can see within 30 feet of you, where you reappear with the swarm. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Now, this is something from the core book, but next we have Beastmaster Companions. However, you offer your input on Swarming Dispersal.
Yes. It is Uncanny Dodge and Evasion, but better.
Basically. Beastmaster companions.
So, instead of taking the third level Beastmaster feature, the Ranger's Companion, you can take a Primal Companion. You choose a stat block, a beast of the land, sea, or sky. You can determine what kind of animal, choosing an appropriate for the stat block. It bears primal markings indicating its mystical origin. It can take your turn, but it can only take the dodge action unless you use your bonus action to tell it to do something else. Much like the Steel Defender we talked about last time. You can sacrifice one of your attacks
when
you take the attack action. If you're incapacitated, the beast can do whatever it wants.
If it has died within the last hour, you can use your action to touch it and expend a spell slot of first level or higher. It returns to life after 1 minute with all of its hit points restored. When you finish a long rest, you can summon a different primal beast. The new beast appears in an unoccupied space within 5 feet of you, and you choose its stat block and appearance. If you already have a beast from this feature, it vanishes when the new beast appears. The beast also vanishes if you die.
Yeah. So we have a beast of the land. It can charge. And that adds an extra d6 to its maul attack. We have Beast of the Sea, who is, of course, amphibious.
It has a binding strike.
Yep. And we have a Beast of the Sky, who doesn't provoke opportunity attacks when it flies out of reach, and it has a shred.
That is quietly terrifying.
Yep. Thought there were going to be pictures. My bad. Next chapter. The Rogue.
This is the class. This is the one I'm going to need to pay attention to because I'm playing a rogue at the moment.
There's only one new optional feature, and I don't think you're going to use it much.
Well, considering I've already gone past the level for it, that's irrelevant.
Yep. Steady aim. As a bonus action, give yourself advantage on your next attack roll on the current turn. Only use this if you haven't moved. And
if you use it,
after
your
you
speed
use
is
it,
0.
Yep. So, do this if you don't feel like moving.
Which considering that Ava does a lot of moving around on the battlefield, that is exactly not her thing.
Yeah. This is very situational for a rogue to do. And it's only going to be used if he's got a sniper perch that he does not want to move from.
Right. While rogues got only one new feature, we gained 2 new archetypes. We shall see what that does for us.
Yeah, we have 2 new ones. The Phantom of the Opera. And
why are you like this?
I don't know. Do you want me to ask my doctor next time I see him?
No need. Just moving on.
Yeah. And my personal favorite coming in, the Soul Knife.
Now, Tasha's opinions on the Phantom. Collecting the souls of your defeated foes in everyday objects. What a good idea. Though I'd probably need an encyclopedia to hold all my anti-admirers. That implies a lot of people don't like her.
When you become the Witch Queen
of some place, Many rogues walk a fine line between life and death, risking their own lives and taking the lives of others. While adventuring on that line, some rogues discover a mystical connection to death itself. These rogues take knowledge from the dead and become immersed in negative energy, eventually becoming like ghosts. Thieves' guilds value them as highly effective information gatherers and spies. Many Shadarkai of the Shadowfell are masters of these macabre techniques, and some are willing to teach this path. In places like Thay in the Forgotten Realms and Karnath in Eberron, where necromancers practice their craft, a phantom can become a wizard's confidant and right hand. In temples of gods of death, the phantom might work as an agent to track down those who try to cheat death and to recover knowledge that might otherwise be lost to the grave. How did you discover this grim power? Did you sleep in a graveyard and awaken to your new abilities, or did you cultivate them in a temple or thieves' guild dedicated to a deity of death?
Speaking of death,
To be fair, this woman also became something of a snarky so-and-so because she got raised by Baba Yaga.
yes, but speaking of death, here's our phantom.
A tiefling lady with some goblin-looking dudes.
Well, one's a goblin, the other guy has horns.
So I don't know what that is.
Yeah. But at 13th level,
It's
you gain the
third.
Whispers of the... Jesus Christ! Reading comprehension, Felix. Do you have it? At 3rd level, echoes of the dead, echoes of those who have died, cling to you. Whenever you finish a short or long rest, you can choose a skill or tool you lack proficiency in and gain it, as a ghostly presence shares its knowledge with you. You lose this proficiency when you use this feature to choose a different one that you lack.
So in other words, this is a great way to Swiss Army knife yourself.
And that's what rogues are, aren't they?
Yeah, they're supposed to be the uber versatile Swiss Army knives. Wails from the grave. As you nudge someone closer to the grave, you can channel the power of death to harm someone else as well. Immediately after you deal your sneak attack feature, attack damage to a creature on your turn, you can target a second creature you can see within 30 feet of the first creature. Roll half the number of sneak attack dice for your level, round up, and the second creature takes necrotic damage equal to the roll's total as the wails of the dead sound around them for a moment. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus and regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
Tieflings have an AoE, and I love tieflings. Rogues have... God damn it. Rogues have an AoE, and I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, 9th level, Tokens of the Dead.
When a life ends in your presence, you're able to snatch a token from the departing soul, a sliver of its life essence that takes physical form. As a reaction, when a creature you can see dies within 30 feet of you, you can open your free hand and cause a tiny trinket to appear. A soul trinket. The DM determines the trinket's form or has you roll on the trinkets table in the player's handbook to generate it. You can have a maximum number of soul trinkets equal to your proficiency bonus, and you can't create one while at your maximum. You can use soul trinkets in the following ways. While a soul trinket is on your person, you have advantage on death saving throws and constitution saving throws, for your vitality is enhanced by the life essence within the object. That is stupid, and I love it.
I know, right?
When you deal sneak attack damage on your turn, you can destroy one of your soul trinkets that's on your person and immediately use Wails from the Grave without expending a use of that feature. As an action, you can destroy one of your soul trinkets, no matter where it's located. When you do so, you can ask the spirit associated with the trinket one question. The spirit appears to you and answers in a language it knew in life. It's under no obligation to be truthful, and it answers as concisely as possible, eager to be free. The spirit knows only what it knew in life, as determined by the DM. So basically, that third one is a free speak with dead.
Yep.
Ghost walk. You can phase partially into the realm of the dead, becoming like a ghost. As a bonus action, you assume a spectral form. While in this form, you have a flying speed of 10 feet. You can hover, and attack rolls have disadvantage against you. You can also move through creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain, but you take 1d10 force damage if you end your turn inside a creature or object. You can stay in this form for 10 minutes or until you end it as a bonus action. To use this feature again, you must finish a long rest or destroy one of your soul trinkets as part of the bonus action you use to activate Ghost Walk. 17th level, Death's Friend. Your association with death has become so close that you gain the following benefits. When you use your Wails from the Grave, you can deal the necrotic damage to both the first and the second creature. At the end of a long rest, a soul trinket appears in your hand if you don't have any soul trinkets, as the spirits of the dead are drawn to you.
Next.
This is this is quietly disquieting.
What, the Phantom?
Yes, it's just like, ugh. It's
Yeah,
awesome,
you
but
want to
at
play.
the same time,
You want to play in a dark campaign? Play a Phantom.
yeah, just this.
But you could flavor this
More gently.
like they say. You're a deity of the dead, and you could be like the ferryman from Greece. You're using these trinkets to ferry the souls to a resting place.
Right.
And the trinkets of good-natured people that you've seen cut down, not cut down by your own, you keep them separately from the trinkets of villains that you use to fuel your power.
Right. Maybe one of the things your character does is when in a city they make visits to the temples that govern the dead and hand over these soul tokens.
Yeah. Because you don't need them to do any of your stuff.
Right. This is one of those where you can play a character that looks dark, edgy, and just peak edgelord, but isn't.
Right. The only true benefit from having a soul trinket that it's like, oh, I need at least one. This.
Is the advantage on death throws.
That. Cool boy. But let us move on to the soul knife.
Tasha's opinions on the soul knives. I also have the ability to manifest my thoughts in ways that cut people. I call this power words.
I love Tasha.
I love her too. She's just funny. Most assassins strike with physical weapons, and many burglars and spies use thieves' tools to infiltrate secure locations. In contrast, a soul knife strikes and infiltrates with the mind, cutting through barriers both physical and psychic, as these rogues discover psionic power within themselves and channel it to do their roguish work. They find easy employment as members of thieves' guilds, though they are often mistrusted by rogues who are leery of anyone using strange mind powers to conduct their business. Most governments would also be happy to employ a soul knife as a spy. Amid the trees of ancient forests, on the material plane and in the Feywild, some wood elves walk the path of the soul knife, serving as silent, lethal guardians of the woods. In the endless war among the Gith, a Githeri is often encouraged to become a soul knife when stealth is required against their Githyanki foe. As a soul knife, your psionic abilities have haunted you since you were a child, only revealing their full potential as you experience the stress of adventure. Or you might have sought out a reclusive order of psychic adepts and spent years learning how to properly manifest your power. Is that a halfling? I think that's a halfling.
Yes.
Yay,
Yes.
I was right.
It's a hobbit, yes. Oh, wait, hold on, that's trademarked. We can't do that.
Halfling.
So, the psionic power, it's going to be the same as the psionic power read from the Psi Knight Fighter. You get a die. You get equal to twice your proficiency bonus. They fuel other things you can do, detailed below. When you hit 5th level, it's a D8. When you hit 11th level, it's a D10. And when you hit 17th level, it's a D12. You get them all back at a long rest.
We have a question about what the Gith are.
Oh, you want to take that? Because that's a speech and a half.
Okay, so buckle up, folks. The Gith are two races of extraplanar beings who can usually be found residing in the astral plane. They were once one race, but split due to ideological differences, becoming the Githeri, who tend to be more towards the monastic, we just want to be left alone to learn how to do our psychic stuff in peace and quiet. And then you have the Githyanki, who I'm pretty sure would fight God for half a moldy bagel.
Yep. Just to prove that it was theirs in the first place.
Yep. They have a special special place in their hearts for mind flayers. It is not a nice place.
It's right there next to the burning hatred of cute kittens and this very much lump of coal that rises up when anyone mentions hugs.
You really don't like the Githyanki, do you?
Oh no, I love them. I just know them. I just know them.
Yeah. In a previous video, I mentioned that there was a rebellion against the Mind Flayers that toppled their empire to the point where records of it were eradicated and no stone stood atop another stone. That was the uprising of the Gith.
I'm pretty sure we mentioned that in the Baldur's Gate 3 stream, which you can go watch because we have a VOD of it.
Yeah, we have an archive footage of it. You can go watch if you want.
And we will be playing more Baldur's Gate eventually.
Yeah. The launcher
Things
is
just keep happening.
Yeah, the launcher is finicky about whether or not it wants to behave.
Yeah. So we have 2 powers right away just for getting psionic powers on how to use it. We can roll a psionic energy die for the psi bolstered knack. If we fail an ability check, we can roll a psi die and potentially turn it into a... I'm going to just call it a psi die. And potentially turn it into a success. You only expend the die if it turns into a success. And psionic whispers.
Telepathy.
You can choose... Yeah, it's telepathy. You roll the die, and for a number of hours equal to the number rolled, you have telepathy.
With yourself and a number of creatures equal to your proficiency bonus. You can send a message and they can respond.
And up to a mile.
Yeah. A creature can't use this telepathy if it can't speak any languages. Now, I want to make one thing clear. When they say can't speak any languages, they mean is not intellectually capable of speech. Races or characters that cannot speak but that while they cannot speak are still sapient can still have this ability used upon them. Basically what I'm trying to say is if you have a character in the party that physically cannot speak for some reason,
like a bear,
they can still have this ability used on them.
Yeah. And the first time you use it, you don't expend a psi die. All other times you use it a day, you expend the die.
And you have essentially...
Now for the fun part of psychic energy. Susan?
Basically, your brain summons a sword.
Yeah. You were cutting out there for me pretty bad.
Not sure what's up with that. Anywho.
Yeah, it was really weird. It was like you were
Don't worry about it. You can manifest your psionic power as shimmering blades of energy. Basically, you can think a knife into existence.
Yep. That knife is finesse and can be thrown. As it can be thrown up to 60 feet, no long range. And it deals psychic damage equal to a d6, plus whatever ability mod you used, strength or dex.
It vanishes immediately after it hits or misses its target, and leaves no mark on its target if it deals damage, which is a little weird.
Perfect for stealth assassinations, though.
Yeah, it's like everybody's sitting around. Jimmy is on watch. The Soul Knife Rogue is like, the psychic blade, kills the dude. For what everyone else can tell, Jimmy just dropped dead for some reason.
Yep.
There's no marks on his body at all, he just keeled over.
You can make an offhand attack with the Psi Blade, but its damage die drops to a d4 instead of a d6.
Makes sense. Unless, of course, you have a feat that negates the damage reduction for an offhand weapon.
Right. And then Soul Blades, a 9th level thing. You can... more side-eye stuff. such as homing strikes. You can make an attack with your psychic blade. If you miss, roll the side eye, add the number to the roll. If it causes the attack to hit, lose the side eye.
Which, of course, implies that if it misses, you get to keep it.
Exactly. Which is why psionic stuff is still kind of busted, even though they're really trying.
Yeah, honestly, I'm glad they're just sort of like, okay, you've got two subclasses that use it, because it seems like they're trying to test, okay, how do we fully need the bugs out of this?
That's what they really are trying to test, and they did a lot of playtesting with this, and this is what they got. The first time I saw this in Unearthed Arcana, boy, was it more confusing.
Yeah, they're doing the best they can, God bless them.
The other thing you can do with your new Psychic Blades and Side Eye, you can bonus action, manifest a Side Blade, expend a Side Eye, roll it, throw the blade up to a number equal to the roll times 10.
You then teleport to that spot.
Yep, and then pop! So if you're at 9th level, if you got your D8, you're rolling 8 times 10, you can pop 80 feet away.
An excellent choice for if something the party is doing has just gone horribly, horribly wrong.
Yep. 13th level.
You can turn
you can
invisible.
become invisible. For an hour. And then you can only do so once a long rest unless you spend a side eye.
Yep.
17th level. When you hit someone with a side blade and do sneak attack, you can force them to make a whiz save or be stunned
for a minute. For context, everyone, a full round is supposed to be 6 seconds.
So that's 10 rounds. 10 rounds of it being stunned, but it can repeat the saving throw, so.
Yeah, it can potentially end it prematurely, but if it can't, you essentially have turned this thing into a punching bag.
You can only do it once a rest, unless you expend 3 side eye.
Yes, we are still on rogues, and you didn't have that long a brain fart. Bean.
Alright. So, next. My favorite class.
And one that I like and one that's my number 2, directly after the druid, the sorcerer.
Your magic's in your blood, dear.
You aren't wrong.
Give me your body.
Will you stop with that?
No! So, I'm gonna be taking this. I'm gonna be taking this because it's mine.
Because rogues are your thing?
No, because sorcerers are my thing.
Right, I just had a brain cramp too. Because sorcerers are your thing, I'll let you have this one. And holy crap, that's some new spells.
You get additional spells! So I'm gonna say this. All these in the cantrips, they were already on the sorcerer list except for Mind Sliver. These were all in Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide. They brought it over here, and I love it because now Lava can't say I can't have them. Everything else, though, with an asterisk, especially if it's a Tasha spell, those are brand new. Key ones to look out for. Mind Sliver, D6 psychic damage, and subtract a D4. It's a tiny bane. Flaming Sphere, because who doesn't want fire? A Vampiric Touch, because boy do you not have the health normally. Fire Shield, it's just fun. Demiplane, because what sorcerer wouldn't? And the new 9th level spell, the Blade of Disaster.
You create a blade-shaped planar rift about 3 feet long in an unoccupied space you can see within range. The blade lasts for the duration. When you cast this spell, you can make up to 2 melee spell attacks with the blade, once against a creature, loose object, or each one against a creature, loose object, or structure within 5 feet of the blade. On a hit, it takes 4d12 force damage. This attack scores a critical hit if the number on the d20 is 18 or higher. On a critical hit, it deals an extra 8d12 force damage for a total of 12d12.
So instead of the typical critical thing, which is double the damage, it triples it.
Which is vaguely terrifying.
Yes! Welcome to 9th level.
On a bonus action of your choice, you can move the blade up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see and then make up to 2 melee spell attacks with it again. This blade can harmlessly pass through any barrier, including a wall of force.
Yeah. And then at 3rd level, we get meta magic. 2 new meta magic options, which you can pick whenever you grab a new meta magic option as a sorcerer. First meta magic option, Seeking Spell. If you make an attack roll for a spell and miss, spend 2 sorcery points and re-roll. You have to use the new roll, though. So if
and
the first
it
roll
can
was
stack
just a
with
miss,
other spells as well.
yes. So if the first roll was just a miss, but this new roll's a nat 1, oh well, you spent the points. This is your lot.
Yeah.
But the one I'm really interested in, Transmuted Spell. When you cast a spell that deals one type of damage, spend a sorcery point and change it to a different one.
And the types listed are acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, and thunder.
Hey, do you like Fireball, but you're a green dragon sorcerer and you wanted to be doing some poison damage? Turn it into a poison ball!
It does the same amount of damage as the base spell. It just does a different type.
Hey, are you a Storm Soul sorcerer and you're really running out of thunder spells? Turn that lightning bolt into a thunderbolt!
Yeah, just make new ones!
At 4th level, and every time you get an ability score improvement, you can choose to do one of the following. You can replace an option from a meta magic with a new meta magic. You can replace cantrip with a new cantrip.
Which is helpful.
Yes. Level 5, Magical Guidance. You can spend a sorcery point to re-roll for an ability check.
And you must use the new roll.
And we have 2 new sorceress origins. The first, the Aberrant Mind.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Here we
no,
go.
this.
Time to put on my Tasha voice.
Don't giggle through this one.
I'll do my best. Tentacles, psychic powers, beings from beyond the stars. One person's bad dream is another person's good time.
And we know what she means!
We are learning things about Tasha we are not entirely certain we wanted to know.
Tasha would be in the Monster Girl fandom, confirmed.
Yep. An alien influence has wrapped its tentacles around your mind, gifting you psychic powers. And you can now touch the minds of others and alter the world around you by using it to control the magical energy of the multiverse. Will this power shine from you as a hopeful beacon to others? Or will you be a source of terror to those who feel you stab your mind? Feel the stab of your mind and witness the strange manifestations of your might. As an aberrant mind sorcerer, you decide how you acquired your powers. Were you born with them, or did an event later in life give you them? Consult the aberrant origin table for a possible origin of your power.
So we got 6 things. Number 1. You're exposed to the far realm. You're convinced that there's a tentacle on you now, but no one can see it.
Whether
Number
it's
2.
real or not is up to the DM.
Right. Number 2. A psychic wind from the astral plane carried psionic energy to you. When you use your powers, faint motes of light sparkle around you. 3. You once suffered the dominating powers of an aboleth, leaving a psychic splinter in your mind. Number 4. Baldur's Gate reference. No. You were implanted with a Mind Flayer tadpole, but the Ceramorphosis never completed. And now its psionic power is yours. When you use it, your flesh shines with a strange mucus. Number 5. As a child, you had an imaginary friend that looked like a flump or a strange platypus-like creature. One day, it gifted you with psionic powers, which have ended up not being imaginary. 6. Your nightmares whisper the truth to you. Your psionic powers are not your own. You draw them from your parasitic twin.
Which is quietly horrifying.
Yeah. You got a vestigial twin somewhere. You get new spells. It's one of the few sorcerer subclasses that are like, you need some expanded. You instantly get the Mind Sliver cantrip. Yay. You also
Arms
get
of Hadar, Dissonant Whispers.
Calm emotions, detect thoughts. Hunger of Hadar. Ascendant. Evard's black tentacles. Tentacles. Summon aberration. Rari's telepathic bond and telekinesis. Which telekinesis can be fun.
Just whee!
Lift and throw. First level. You and somebody within a number of miles equal to your charisma mod can speak telepathically.
It lasts for a number of minutes equal to your sorcery level. It ends early if you're incapacitated or die, or if you use this ability to form a connection with a different creature.
Yeah, just you and someone you know. Yeah. Telepathy. 6th level ability. This one's fun. When you cast any of the psionic spells, you can cast it by spending a spell slot or by spending sorcery points. If you cast it using sorcery points, it needs no verbal or somatic or material components, unless it's something that is consumed by the spell.
Right.
But you're binded. You're in a silence. Well, oh well.
You are
Also at
tied up
6th
and gagged. You can't do anything.
I summon tentacles.
Wait,
How?
How? Because.
With my mind.
How? Because I can.
With my mind.
Basically.
Also at 6th level. Resistant to psychic damage. And advantage on being charmed or frightened. So good. 14th level. You unleash the aberrant truth hidden within yourself. As a bonus action, you can spend 1 or more sorcery points
to magically transform your body for 10 minutes.
For each sorcery point you spend, you gain one of the following benefits. The effects last until the transformation ends.
You can see any invisible creature basically spend a sorcery point. Freaky things happen.
Your eyes also turn black and become writhing sensory tendrils.
Turn black or become writhing sensory tendrils.
You gain a flying speed, and you can hover. As you fly, your skin glistens with mucus or otherworldly light.
You gain a swimming speed equal to twice your walking speed, and you can breathe underwater. Moreover, gills grow from your neck or fan out from behind your ears. Your fingers become webbed, or you grow writhing cilia that extends through your clothing.
Or your body, with any equipment you're wearing or carrying, becomes slimy and pliable. You can move through any space as narrow as an inch without squeezing, and you can spend 5 feet of movement to escape from non-magical restraints or being grappled.
This is one where it's both cool and ew.
A little bit, yeah. And then, 18th level, Warping Implosion.
You can unleash your aberrant power as a space warping anomaly. As an action, you can teleport to an unoccupied space you can see within 120 feet of you. Immediately after you disappear, each creature within 30 feet of the space you left must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 3d10 force damage and is pulled straight towards the space you left. Ending in an unoccupied space as close to your former space as possible. On a successful save, the creature takes half damage and isn't pulled. Basically, tiny black hole.
Yep. And you can't do it until you finish a long rest or spend 5 sorcery points. Clockwork Soul.
This one is interesting. Now for Tasha's thoughts. I rarely tell people I speak Modron because invariably they just want to learn how to curse. So let's get this out of the way now. Cue lesson 1. I'm not sure what inflection, if any, there's supposed to be on that, so I'm not even gonna try.
Well, you gonna read it? Susan.
I'll read everything else.
Okay. You're not even gonna try the lesson 1?
Yeah, no, probably because there's supposed to be some intended inflection there, and I'm not sure.
Okay.
The cosmic force of order has suffused you with magic. That power arises from Mechanus or a realm like it, a plane of existence shaped entirely by clockwork efficiency. You, or someone from your lineage, might have become entangled in the machinations of the Modrons, the orderly beings who inhabit Mechanus. Perhaps your ancestor even took part in the Great Modron March. Whatever its origin within you, the power of order can seem strange to others, but for you, it's part of a vast and glorious system. Clockwork magic. You learn additional spells when you reach certain levels in this class, as shown on the Clockwork Spells table. Each of these spells count as sorcerer spells for you, but it doesn't count against the number of sorcerer spells you know, so essentially, they're free.
Yep. And they are Alarm, protection from evil and good, Aid, lesser restoration, Dispel magic, protection from energy, Freedom of movement, Summon construct, Greater restoration, and Wall of Fools.
In addition, consult the Manifestations of Order table and choose or randomly determine a way your connection to order manifests while you are casting any of your sorceress spells.
Spectral cogwheels. Hands of a clock in your eye. Your skin is brass. Floating equations and geometric shapes overlay your body. Your spellcasting focus temporarily takes the form of a tiny clockwork mechanism. Or the ticking of gears or ringing of clocks can be heard by you and those affected by your magic. Human clockwork soul.
Restore balance. First level Clockwork Soul feature. Your connection to the plane of absolute order allows you to equalize chaotic movements. When a creature that you can see within 60 feet of you is about to roll a d20 with advantage or disadvantage, you can use your reaction to prevent the roll from being affected.
By advantage and disadvantage. You can do it a number of times equal to your proficiency and regain it when you finish a long rest.
Bastion of Law.
Yep.
You can tap into the grand equation of existence to imbue a creature with the shimmering shield of order. As an action, you can spend 1 to 5 sorcery points to create a magical ward around yourself or another creature you can see within 30 feet of you. The ward lasts until you finish a long rest or until you use this feature again. The ward is presented by a number of d8s equal to the number of sorcery points spent to create it. When the warded creature takes damage...
Wake up, Susan.
Sorry. It can expend a number of those dice, roll them, and reduce the damage taken by the total rolled on those dice.
That's fun.
Trance of Order. You gain the ability to align your consciousness to the endless calculations of Mechanus. As a bonus action, you can enter this state for 1 minute. During the duration, attack rolls against you can't benefit from advantage, and whenever you make an attack roll, ability check, or savings throw, you can't roll lower than a 10. You treat a roll of 9 or lower as a 10.
Yep.
When you use this bonus action, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest, unless you spend 5 sorcery points to use it again.
You are gonna make me yawn, and I hate you for it.
I'm sorry. Level 18, Clockwork Cavalcade. You summon Spirits of Order to expunge disorder around you. As an action, you can summon the spirits in a 30-foot cube originating from you. The spirits look like Modrons, or other constructs of your choice. They are intangible and invulnerable, and they create the following effects within the cube before vanishing. The spirits restore up to 100 hit points, divided as you choose, among any number of creatures of your choice in the cube. Any damaged objects entirely in the cube are repaired instantly. Every spell of 6th level or lower ends on creatures and objects of your choice inside the cube. You need to do a long rest to use this again, unless you spend 7 sorcery points to do it again.
I love the Clockwork Soul, I really do.
Yep.
Do you need, like, a laws, something?
I'm good, thank you.
Next is the Warlock. We have a lot of new class features for the Warlocks, including new spells.
Yep. You want to go over these?
Once again, everything but Mind Sliver was in Sword Coast. A couple new spells, like Summon Fae, Summon Shadow Spawn, and Summon Undead, really help bring out who your Warlock is tied to, along with Summon Aberration.
And Summon
5th
Fiend.
level. Oh, didn't see that over there. Thank you.
You're welcome.
6th, 7th, and 9th levels, you're only ever going to get one of these spells. Please, choose it carefully. I would recommend Weird.
But it is entirely your decision.
Right. I recommend Weird just because Warlocks are.
Yep.
And we have an entire new Pact boon.
Pact of the Talisman.
Your patron gives you an amulet. Talisman can aid the wearer when the need is great. When the wearer, who doesn't have to be you, by the way, add a d4 to a failed ability check. It can turn it into a success. Used a number of times equal to the Warlock's proficiency bonus.
And all expended usages are restored when you finish a long rest. If you lose the talisman, you can perform a 1-hour ceremony to receive a replacement from your patron. This ceremony can be performed during a long or short rest, and it destroys the previous amulet. It turns to ash when you die.
Yep. So, here, Eldritch Versatility. This is kind of the same thing we've seen in other casters. Replace a cantrip. The two things unique to Warlock, you can do that too. Replace the Pact boon with a different Pact boon. You can replace a Mystic Arcanum spell with a different one. If you change the Pact boon and that changes your Eldritch, okay. Any of the Eldritch Invocation prerequisites, you don't meet them now, you must replace them immediately.
Choosing invocations for which you qualify.
New Eldritch Invocations, here we go. Okay.
Bond of the Talisman.
You need to be 12th level, and you need to have the Pact of the Talisman feature.
While someone else is wearing your talisman, you can use your action to teleport to the unoccupied space closest to them, provided the two of you are on the same plane of existence.
Important note.
The wearer of your talisman can do the same thing, using their action to teleport to you. The teleportation can be used a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and all expended usages are restored when you finish a long rest.
Eldritch Mind. You get advantage on concentration checks. Woo! Farscribe. Prerequisites. You must be 5th level, and you must have the Pact of the Tome.
You can cast the sending spell, targeting a creature whose name is on the page without using a spell slot or material components. The target hears the message. To do so, you must write the message on the page. The target hears the message, and if the target replies, the message appears on the page rather than in your mind. The writing disappears after a minute. As an action, you can magically erase a name on the page by touching it.
Gift of the Protectors, which makes Pact of the Tome kinda stupid. Prerequisites. You must be 9th level, and you must have the Pact of the Tome feature.
A new page appears in your book. With your permission, a creature can use its action to write its name on that page, which can contain a number of names equal to your proficiency bonus. When any creature whose name is on the page is reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, the creature magically drops to 1 hit point instead. Once this name is triggered, no creature can benefit from it until you finish a long rest. As an action, you can magically erase a name on the page by touching it.
Yeah, it's just, hey, everybody in the party, write your name in my book.
Why?
Why? Because I'm gonna give you a death defiance.
Basically, yeah.
Investment of the Chainmaster. Prerequisite. Pact of the Chain feature.
When you cast Find Familiar, you infuse the summoned familiar with a measure of your eldritch power, granting the creature the following benefits. It gains either a flying speed or a swimming speed, your choice, of 40 feet. And yes, in a way it could be viewed as a reverse Death Note.
Yep.
As a bonus action, you can command the familiar to take the attack action. The familiar's weapon attacks are considered magical for the purposes of overcoming immunity and resistance to non-magical attacks. If a familiar forces the creature to make a savings throw, it uses your spell save. When a familiar takes damage, you can use your reaction to grant it resistance against that damage.
Impy boy gets even more impy.
Yep. Protection of the Talisman.
7th level Warlock, Pact of the Talisman feature. Can I summarize this one?
Yes.
It's basically what the Talisman does normally, giving you a d4 to roll to a failed ability check, but for saving throws.
Yep.
Rebuke of the Talisman, Prerequisite, Pact of the Talisman feature. When somebody is hit, when whoever is wearing the talisman is hit by an attacker, the Warlock can see within 30 feet of the Warlock. The Warlock can use the Warlock's reaction to deal psychic damage equal to its proficiency bonus and push it 10 feet away from the talisman's wearer. The wording on that is important.
Yes.
Because the Warlock, once again, does not have to wear the talisman.
Right. The Warlock
And then
can give the talisman to someone else to wear.
Yep. And then Undying Servitude, 5th level Warlock.
You can cast Animate Dead for free.
You want to get a zombie? Because this is how you get a zombie.
Yep.
And we have 2 new Warlock patrons.
The following options are available to you when making that choice: the Fathomless or the Genie. The Fathomless.
Tasha, take it away.
And now for Tasha's input. I never understood why some people get so jittery about tentacles. Have you ever had octopus nigiri? One of the few pieces of evidence of a benevolent multiverse.
Yep. You want Tentacle Daddy? This is how you get Tentacle Daddy.
Oh God! Felix, no!
Felix, yes!
You Chaos Goblin! You have plunged into a pact with the deeps, an entity of the ocean, the elemental plane of water, or another otherworldly sea now allows you to draw on its thalassic power. Is it merely using you to learn about terrestrial realms, or does it want you to open cosmic floodgates and drown the world? Perhaps you were born into a generational cult that venerates the Fathomless and its spawn. Or you might have been shipwrecked and on the brink of drowning when your patron's grasp offered you a chance at life. Whatever the reason for your pact, the sea and its unknown depths call to you. Entities of the deep that might empower a warlock include Kraken, ancient water elementals, godlike hallucinations dreamed into being by Courtois, merfolk demigods, and sea hag covens. You now have an expanded spell list!
Yep. You can create or destroy water. You can cast Thunderwave. You can cast Gust of Wind and Silence, Lightning Bolt and Sleep Storm, control water and summon elemental. Water only. Bigby's hand, it appears as a tentacle, and the Cone of Cold.
We are getting a lot of Ford references from Critical Role.
Yeah, it's Ford. It's Ford.
Yeah, this is Ford's thing.
Yep. He's a hexblade, but D&D Beyond looked at Ford and went, let's see what we can do here.
Let's see what we can do with this. Tentacle of the deeps.
This is the man with his tentacle. Tentacle. Otherwise known as the Kinky Warlock.
Felix!
Susan! You invited me.
Right. I'm sorry. You can magically summon a spectral tentacle that strikes at your foes. As a bonus action, you create a 10-foot-long tentacle at a point you can see within 60 feet of you. The tentacle lasts for a minute or until you use this feature to make another one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Bean.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yes.
When you create the tentacle, you can make a melee spell attack against one creature within 10 feet of it. On a hit, the target takes 1d8 cold damage, and its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. When you reach 10th level in this class, the damage increases to 2d8. As a bonus action on your turn, you can move the tentacle up to 30 feet and repeat the attack. You can summon the tentacle a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended usages when you finish a long rest.
And then also at level 1, you get a swimming speed of 40 feet and you can breathe underwater. Level 6.
Oceanic Soul.
Gain resistance to cold damage. And while you're fully underwater, any other creature that is fully underwater, you can speak to them and they can speak to you. So you don't go...
Anywho, Guardian Coil.
Your tentacle...
Your tentacle of the deeps can defend you and others, interposing itself between them and harm. When you or a creature you see takes damage while within 10 feet of the tentacle, you can use your reaction to choose one of those creatures and reduce the damage to that creature by d8. When you reach 10th level, the damage reduced by the tentacle increases to 2d8.
So I have an honest question.
Yes?
Do you think they chose the d8 because octopus...
Maybe. I don't know.
8-leg d8?
New person in the stream. Where do you not where has your understanding been lost? And oh hey, we get the spell Evard's Black Tentacles for free.
Yep.
And whenever we
cast it
this
once
spell,
without a spell slot.
Yes,
and whenever you cast it,
get a Guardian Tentacle beast.
Yeah.
Grant you number of
and whenever
hit points equal to your Warlock level. Moreover, damage can't break your concentration on this spell.
No. And then at level 14, Fathomless Plunge. You can teleport 5 willing creatures within a whirl of tentacles.
The previous ability about underwater communication.
So if you try talking underwater, it kind of comes out.
Yeah, it does not come out understandable, but with this ability, you can be understood.
And understand.
Yes. Very helpful when you have to negotiate with the nice mer people that, no, your friend isn't malicious, he's just an idiot.
Yep. And you can understand mer people. Or you could understand a fish. And a fish could understand you. So long as you're both completely underwater, you can be understood.
Yes.
14. Fathomless Plunge.
There is a question about even if you don't speak the same language, can understand when you are fully
you can understand them, they can understand you.
It's basically a conditional use of the tongues spell.
So first we're talking about tentacles, now we're talking about tongues? Jesus.
Basically, while you are submerged, you can understand things that are submerged, and they can understand you.
Yep.
Fathomless Plunge. You can magically open temporary conduits to watery destinations. As an action, you can teleport yourself and up to 5 other willing creatures that you can see within 30 feet of you. Amid a whirl of tentacles, you all vanish and reappear up to 1 mile away in a body of water you've seen, pond size or larger, within 30 feet of it. Each of you appearing in an unoccupied space within 30 feet of the others. You need to take a rest before you use this again.
Yep.
It's just like,
And
oh,
then
get
the
us out of here,
genie.
guys! Teleport. Why are we in a lake?
It was this or the dragon. What did you want? There goes our PG rating.
If we had one in the first place. No, I do not speak from experience about angry merpeople. However, I do speak from experience about players who, while being good-intentioned, their characters are dumb.
I don't know. Did the Kuatoa count?
Maybe, I guess.
Alright. Anyway, Tasha's thoughts on the genie warlock.
Yes. I know, finding housing in Greyhawk is rough, but when genies or warlocks offer you cheap rent, run.
Yeah, this one is so fun.
You have made a pact with one of the rarest kinds of genie, a noble genie. Such entities rule vast fiefs on the elemental planes and have great influence over lesser genies and elemental creatures. Noble genies are varied in their motivations, but most are arrogant and wield power that rivals that of lesser deities. They delight in turning the tables on mortals, who often bind genies into servitude and readily enter pacts that expand their reach. You can choose your patron's kind or determine it randomly using the genie kind table. Your options are the Dao, which are earth genie, Dijin, which are air genie, Ifrit, which are fire genie, and Marid, which are water genie.
And here we have a genie. Genie warlock.
And
Pact of the Chain with their pseudo-dragon and her lamp.
Yep.
I think she's casting Witch Bolt.
I don't know what she's casting either, but it looks cool.
Yep. That's really good art. Expanded spell list. It depends on your genie. So, here we have the genie spells you're going to get. Right?
Yep. Detect good and evil, phantasmal force, create food and water, phantasmal killer, creation, and wish.
Yeah, when you get 9th level spells, you just get wish.
The spells for a Dao patron: Sanctuary, Spike Growth, Meld into Stone, Stone Shape, and Wall of Stone. Dijin, Thunderwave, Gust of Wind, Wind Wall, Greater Invisibility, and Seeming. Ifrit, Burning Hands, Scorching Ray, Fireball, Fire Shield, Flame Strike. Marid, Fog Cloud, Blur, Sleet Storm, Control Water, and Cone of Cold.
Also, you get a genie vessel. It's a tiny object, it's a spellcasting focus, and you can decide what it is based on the table, or you can just decide.
Oil Lamp,
which is the standard genie of the lamp.
Urn, a ring with a compartment, a stoppered bottle, a hollow statuette, or an ornate lantern.
And while touching it, you can use it in the various ways. This one's the fun one.
You could just magically yeet yourself into it.
Yeah, it's a 20-foot radius cylinder, 20 feet high, and it resembles your vessel. It's appointed with cushions and low tables, and it's a comfortable temperature. You can hear the area around its vessel as if you were in your space, and you can remain in there up to hours equal twice your proficiency. You exit early if you use a bonus action to leave, if you somehow die in the vessel, or it's destroyed.
When you exit the vessel, you appear in the unoccupied space closest to it. Any objects left in the vessel remain there until carried out, and if the vessel is destroyed, objects stored there harmlessly appear in the unoccupied spaces closest to the vessel's former space. Once you enter the vessel, you can't enter it again until you finish a long rest. This is fantastic for if somebody in the party is technically not supposed to be in a city and you can just smuggle them in.
Yeah, just, here, hold this ring.
The person you just handed the ring to, where'd they go?
Just a small little version of them in the gemstone of the ring. Hi.
I have questions.
And then, Genie's Wrath. When you hit with an attack roll, you can deal extra damage equal to your proficiency bonus, and the type is determined by your patron. Bludgeoning for Dao, Thunder for Jin, fire for Ifrit, and cold for Marid. Also, your vessel's AC equals your spell save DC. Its hit points equal your warlock level plus proficiency, and it's immune to poison and psychic.
Because,
If it's destroyed,
it's not alive.
right. If it's destroyed or you lose it, you perform a 1-hour ceremony to receive a replacement from your patron.
The ceremony can be performed during a short or long rest, and previous vessel is destroyed if it still exists. The vessel vanishes in a flare of elemental power when you die.
Yep. 6th level, you get resistance depending on your patron. Bludgeoning for Dow, Thunder for Jin, Fire for Ifrit, Cold for Marid. In a bonus, you can give yourself a flying speed of 30 feet that lasts for 10 minutes, and you can hover using it. And you can use it in equal times to your proficiency bonus, and you need to sleep to get them all back.
Yep.
At level 10, you can bring 5 people into your vessel with you.
Yep. As a
And
bonus
anyone
action,
who's been...
you can eject them, and if everyone is ejected if you leave, somehow die, or if the vessel is destroyed. In addition, anyone, including you, who remains in the vessel for at least 10 minutes, gains the benefit of finishing a short rest, and anyone can add your proficiency bonus to the number of hit points they regain if they spend any hit dice as part of a short rest there. This is a fantastic way to hide large chunks of the party.
Or you're in a dungeon. You don't want to spend an hour on a short rest. Everybody get in the lamp. 10 minutes. Okay, we're good. Let's go.
Yeah.
10 minutes for a warlock to get his spell slots back. That's what that is.
That is really nice.
And 14, limited wish.
You entreat your patron to grant you a small wish. As an action, you can speak your desire to your genie's vessel, requesting the effect of one spell that is 6th level or lower and has a casting time of 1 action. The spell can be any from any class's spell list, and you don't need to meet the requirements in that spell, including costly components. The spell simply takes effect as part of this action. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish 1d4 long rests.
So it's just like party member goes down. We need a revivify. Crap, we don't have a cheap diamond for just a small revivify. Oh, genie of the lamp!
Need a little help here. Poof!
Yeah. Need a little help. Rub-a-dub-dub.
Poof! Party mate. Ow!
Yep. Next chapter, the final class.
Good
with an
Lord.
hour left in the stream.
The Wizard.
The Wizard.
Now,
Of course, as
interestingly,
with
despite Druids being my favorite class, a Wizard is actually the first one I got to level 20.
Cool. Of course, as always, with every caster thing in here, we have new spells.
Now, you'll notice next to these spells, it has listed an abbreviation. That is what class of spell these are.
Cool.
For Wizards, this is important.
It is. Most of the spells we get here are the new spells from this book. We do get some old ones, mostly Augury, Enhance Ability, Speak with Dead,
Summon
Divination.
the Summon family of spells.
Yes. You want to be a conjurer? All right, here you go. Be a conjurer.
You want to summon all the things? Summon all the things. My husband is just stupidly happy that Summon Celestial is back so he can summon the Celestial Badgers.
Yes, do it. Do it. That is the one summon I don't think wizards get, though.
Yeah, they can't do Summon Celestial, but the other classes can.
Yep. We also get 3 cantrip formulas. You can now replace a cantrip with a different cantrip.
Yeah, you can swap out your cantrips.
That's it for the new class features for the wizard, everybody!
But we do gain some new arcane traditions.
One new arcane tradition. One is brought over from Sword Coast.
Yep.
Celestial Badgers? Question mark.
Oh, In a D&D campaign I ran for the husband, the first D&D campaign he ever participated in, he was playing a cleric. In 3.5, clerics had access to Summon Celestial. He would occasionally summon creatures to help the party out. For a huge swath of the game, what he could summon comfortably were celestial energy-infused badgers. Just in ever-increasing numbers of them.
Good. Just good use of that spell.
It's like a normal badger, but it glows in the dark.
Good use of that spell. Anyway, you want to see what Tasha has to say about blade singing?
Blade singing. When faced with the endless onslaught of magical possibilities, many wizards suffer identity crises. Some overcome, some break, and some become sword bards.
I love you, Tasha, I really do.
Blade singers master a tradition of wizardry that incorporates swordplay and dance. Originally created by elves, this tradition has been adopted by non-elf practitioners who honor and expand on the elven ways. In combat, a blade singer uses a series of intricate, elegant maneuvers that fend off harm and allow the blade singer to channel magic into devastating attacks and a cunning defense. Many who have observed a blade singer at work remember the display as one of the more beautiful experiences in their life. A glorious dance accompanied by a singing blade.
And here we have a moon elf blade singer and a drow blade singer.
They're both blade singers, but their magics and their blades look very different.
Speaking of which, I want this sword, whatever it is. I want it, like, now. Also, if you notice, this one's got a lion tattoo, this one's got, like, a cheetah tattoo.
We will go into this. Also, I love how the moon elf drow, how the high elf drow has essentially a fancy ear cap.
Yeah, they both do. This one's just silver, it blends in more.
Yeah, so it's just like, dude, could you go? Oh wait, you're both elves. Ostentatious is your shtick.
Yep. So, blade singing. Second level, you get light armor proficiency and a one-handed melee weapon of your choice. You also gain proficiency in performance if you don't have it.
Blade song.
And the blade song.
You can invoke
Susan, take it away.
You can invoke an elven magic called the Blade Song, provided you aren't wearing medium or heavy armor or using a shield. It grants you with supernatural speed, agility, and focus. You can use a bonus action to start the Blade Song, which lasts for 1 minute. It ends early if you are incapacitated, if you don medium or heavy armor or a shield, or if you switch to a two-handed grip on your weapon. You can also dismiss the Blade Song at any time, no action required. While your Blade Song is active, you gain the following benefits. You gain a bonus set to your armor class equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of +1. Which, if you're a wizard, intelligence is supposed to be your high stat, this can get broken. Your walking speed increases by 10 feet. You have advantage on acrobatics checks. You gain a bonus to any constitution saving throw you make to maintain your concentration on a spell. The bonus equals your intelligence modifier, minimum of +1. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses of it when you finish a long rest.
Yep. Level 6, extra attack. You can attack twice. You can cast a cantrip in place of one of those attacks.
Song of Defense. You can direct your magic to absorb damage while your blade song is active. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to expend 1 spell slot and reduce damage to you by an amount equal to 5 times the spell slot's level.
Dragon Breath.
That can save you depending on how, considering a wizard's hit point pool.
Yep. Dragon Breath, who needs it? Song of Victory.
When adding, you can add your intelligence modifier, minimum of +1, to the damage of your melee weapon attacks while your blade song is active.
Yep. Order of Scribes.
Tasha's opinions. Magic is great and all, but have you smelled a book? It sounds weird, but speaking as somebody who has a lot of books, she has a point.
Yep.
Magic of the book. That's what many folk call wizardry. The name is apt given how much time wizards spend poring over tomes and penning theories about the nature of magic. It's rare to see wizards traveling without books or scrolls sprouting from their bags, and a wizard would go to great lengths to plumb an archive of arcane knowledge. Among wizards, the Order of the Scribes is the most bookish. It can take many forms in different worlds, but its primary mission is the same as everywhere: recording magical discoveries so wizardry can flourish. While all wizards value their spellbooks, a wizard in the Order of Scribes magically awakens their book, turning it into a trusted companion. All wizards study books, but a wizardly scribe talks to theirs. Wizardly Quill. Second level Order of Scribes feature. As a bonus action, you can magically create a tiny quill in your free hand. The magic quill has the following properties. The quill doesn't require ink. When you write with it, it produces ink in a color of your choice on the writing surface. The time you spend to copy a spell into your spellbook equals 2 minutes per spell level if you use the quill for the transcription. You can erase anything you write with the quill if you wave the feather over the text as a bonus action, provided the text is within 5 feet of you. This quill disappears if you create another one or die.
Awakened Spellbook.
Using specially prepared inks and ancient incantations passed down by your wizardly order, you have awakened an arcane sentience within your spellbook. While you are holding the book, it grants you the following benefits. You can use this book as a spellcasting focus for your wizard spells. When you cast a wizard spell with a spell slot, you can temporarily replace its damage type with a type that appears in another spell in your spellbook, which magically alters the spell's formula for this casting only. The latter spell must be the same level as the spell slot you expended.
Transmutive spell, but with more caveats.
But with more steps. When you cast a wizard spell as a ritual, you may use the spell's normal casting time rather than adding 10 minutes. When you use this benefit, you can't do so again until you finish a short rest. If necessary, you can replace the book over the course of a short rest by using your wizardly quill to write arcane sigils in a blank book or a magic spellbook to which you're attuned. At the end of the rest, your spellbook's consciousness is summoned into the new book, which the consciousness transforms into your spellbook along with all its spells. If the previous book existed somewhere, all the spells vanish from its pages.
Level 6, Manifest Mind. A lot happens.
Yeah. You can conjure forth the mind of your awakened spellbook. As a bonus action, while the book is on your person, you can cause the mind to manifest as a tiny spectral object, hovering in an unoccupied space of your choice within 60 feet of you. The spectral mind is intangible and doesn't occupy its space, and sheds dim light in a 10-foot radius. It looks like a ghostly tome, a cascade of text, or a scholar from the past. Your choice. While manifested, the spectral mind can hear and see, and it has dark vision with a range of 60 feet. The mind can telepathically share with you what it sees and hears, no action required. Whenever you cast a wizard spell on your turn, you can cast it as if you were in the spectral mind's space instead of your own using its senses. You can do so a number of times per day equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended usages when you finish a long rest. As a bonus action, you can cause the spectral mind to hover up to 30 feet in an unoccupied space that you or it can see. It can pass through creatures, but not objects. The spectral mind stops manifesting if it is ever more than 30 feet away from you, if someone casts Dispel Magic on it, if the awakened spellbook is destroyed, if you die, or if you dismiss it as a bonus action. Once you conjure the mind, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest, unless you expend a spell slot of any level to conjure it again.
10th level, Master Scrivener.
Whenever you finish a long rest, you can create one magic scroll by touching your wizardly quill to a blank piece of paper or parchment and causing one spell from your awakened spellbook to be copied onto the scroll. The spellbook must be within 5 feet of you when you make the scroll. The chosen spell must be of 1st or 2nd level and have a casting time of 1 action. Once in a scroll, the spell's power is enhanced, counting as 1 level higher than normal. You can cast the spell from the scroll by reading it as an action. The scroll is unintelligible to anyone else, and the spell vanishes from the scroll when you cast it or when you finish your next long rest. You're also adept at crafting spell scrolls, which are described in the treasure chapter of the Dungeon Master's Guide. The gold and time you must spend to make such a scroll are halved if you use your wizardly quill.
14th one with the order.
One with the word. Your connection to your awakened spellbook has become so profound that your soul has become entwined with it. While your book is on your person, you have advantage on all intelligence, arcana, checks, as the spellbook helps you remember magical lore. Moreover, if you take damage while your spellbook's mind is manifest, you can prevent all of that damage to you by using your reaction to dismiss the spectral mind, using its magic to save yourself. The spellbook temporarily loses spells of your... Then roll 3d6. The spellbook temporarily loses spells of your choice that have combined spell level equal to that roll or higher. For example, if this roll's total is 9, spells vanish from the book that have some combined level of at least 9, which can mean 1 9th level spell, 3 3rd level spells, or some other combination. If there aren't enough spells in the book to cover this cost, you drop to 0 hit points. Until you finish 1d6 long rests, you are incapable of casting the lost spells, even if you find them in a scroll or in another book. After you've finished the required number of rests, the spells reappear in the book. Once you use this reaction, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest.
So, since wizards can have any number of spells in their books, this last one really benefits those who have been, like, copying the spells, copying down the spells, filling out the pages.
Yeah, if you have a lot of spells to use, this can save you when things look dicey.
Alright. So, 45 minutes. Want to go over feats?
Sure.
I'll do most of the talking.
Thank you.
So, feats. Number of fun things that you can grab whenever you do an ability score improvement. You can grab a feat instead. Every feat does something different. Let's go over what we got. First feat, Artificer Initiate. You gain a cantrip from the Artificer spell list, and a first level from that list. Int is the spellcasting. You can cast this feat's first level spell without a spell slot, and you must finish a long rest before you do it again. You can also cast the spell using any spell slots you have. You gain proficiency in an artisan tool, and you can use that type of tool as a spellcasting focus for any spell that you cast that uses Int as a spellcasting ability. You are an Artificer Light.
Yes.
The second one, Chef, which I will be using for Rotor. You can increase your con or your whiz score by 1 to a maximum of 20. You gain proficiency with cook's utensils if you don't already have it. Oh, that wasn't in the Unearthed Arcana version of this, and I like it.
The gaining of proficiency?
Yep, that wasn't in the Unearthed Arcana version.
Oh.
But I'll keep going.
Okay. Yes.
As part of a short rest, you can cook special food, provided you have ingredients and cook's utensils on hand. You can prepare enough of this food for a number of creatures equal to 4 plus your proficiency. At the end of any short rest, any creature who eats the food and spends 1 or more hit die to regain hit points also regains an extra d8 hit points. With 1 hour of work, or when you finish a long rest, you can cook a number of treats equal to your proficiency bonus. These special treats last 8 hours after being made. Creature can use a bonus action to eat one of these treats and gain temporary HP equal to your proficiency bonus.
Now, ingredients is defined very loosely. If you want to be full comedy pseudo-trolling, give this feat to your lizard folk.
Tonight we're eating fingers, boys. Whose fingers? Well, remember that king that gave us the quest? Yeah, I killed him.
Or more just like, so what's for dinner today? Remember what we were fighting today? Oh god, not again.
I decided to make Black Dragon backstrap.
God only knows how that would taste.
So it'd probably have a tiny acidity. But if you mix the right herbs and spices, it probably tastes pretty good.
I might have a book for that.
Like, have you ever had snake?
No.
Okay. Oh, never mind.
Moving along.
Crusher. Increase your strength or con by 1 to a maximum of 20. When you hit a creature with an attack that deals bludgeoning, you can move it 5 feet to an unoccupied space, provided the target is no more than one size larger. When you score a critical hit that deals bludgeoning damage, attack rolls against that creature are made with advantage until the start of your next turn.
This is fantastic for a monk.
A monk, or a cleric with a warhammer, or...
Just anything with a blunt weapon.
Yep. Eldritch Adept. Gain 1 Eldritch invocation so long as it doesn't have any prerequisites. This one's really good for sorcerers because there's a invocation that just gives you free mage armor.
Yeah.
Take it. Take the free mage armor.
Take the free mage armor and run.
Fey Touch. Increase your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma
by
score by 1 to a maximum of 20. You learn Misty Step and 1 first level spell of your choice, which must be either a divination or enchantment magic. You can cast these without expending a spell slot. Can't do so again until you finish a long rest. You can also cast these spells using spell slots you have of the appropriate level.
And whatever ability is the ability increased by this feat.
Right, I didn't know how to word that without being wordy, but I guess you gotta be. Fighting Initiate. There is a prerequisite which you must be proficient with a martial weapon. You gain 1 fighting style that a fighter can get. Any 1 fighting style. If you have a fighting style, you gotta choose a different one.
Yep.
And Macarena.
This one is handy for the artificers. Gunner.
Yeah, Gunner. If your DM's in putting firearms in the game, guess what? Increase your dex. You're proficient in firearms. You ignore loading firearms. And you aren't disadvantageous from putting the gun at someone's head and firing.
Yeah.
Metamagic Adept. Learn 2 metamagics from Sorcerer. You can only use 1 on a spell when you cast it, unless the option says otherwise. You also gain 2 sorcery points to spend on metamagic. Hey, sorcerers, do you want to be even more of a sorcerer? Let's put some sorcerer in your sorcerer. I saw this and I thought, screw Warcaster, I'm going to give Corsic this one and get 2 new metamagics and 2 more sorcery points than I should have.
Than you by any rights should have.
I'll have 10 sorcery points at level 8. That's not dumb. That's not stupid at all.
Piercer.
Strength or dex increased by 1. When you hit a creature with an attack that deals piercing, you can re-roll 1 of the damage die and you must use the new roll. When you crit on a piercing damage attack, you can roll an additional damage die when determining the extra piercing damage. So you triple the damage on a crit with a piercing weapon.
Yeah.
Poisoner! This one's stupid!
But also cool.
Yeah, when you deal poison damage, you ignore resistance to poison damage.
You can apply poison
as a bonus action. You can, you gain proficiency in the Poisoner's Kit with an hour of work and 50 gold worth of materials. You can create a number of doses of poison equal to your proficiency bonus. The poison, when applied to a weapon, stays there for a minute or until you hit. The creature must make a DC 14 con save or take 2d8 poison damage and become poisoned.
Until the end of your next turn.
Yep.
And yeah,
Shadow Touch.
From the chat, polearms would be broken with the Piercer feat.
Oh, yeah. No, that's dumb.
It's awesome, but it's also dumb.
Yeah. Shadow Touch, much like Fey Touch. Wisdom or Charisma goes up by 1. You gain the invisibility spell, and a first level spell. It must be illusion or necromancy. Cast it without expending spell slot. You can cast them with a spell slot using the ability that you bumped from this feat as the spellcasting ability.
Skill expert.
Increase any ability score of yours by 1 to a maximum of 20. Gain proficiency in a skill. Choose a skill in which you have proficiency. Gain expertise.
Would that stack with a rogue's expertise?
No, it specifically says the skill you choose must be one that isn't already benefiting from a feature, such as expertise.
Okay, that makes this makes this vastly less broken.
Yeah. Trust me, in the playtesting, it didn't have that caveat, and they went, oh no.
That's a special slice of broken.
Yep. Slasher! Guess what? We did piercing and bludgeoning, here we are at slashing damage. Increase your strength or dex by 1. When you're a creature with an attack that deals slashing, reduce the speed of that target by 10 feet till your next turn. When you score a critical hit with slashing, you wound it. It has disadvantage on all attacks until the start of your next turn. Telekinetic!
You can move stuff with your brain.
Yeah. Increase your int, wisdom, or charisma by 1. You learn Mage Hand. You can make the Mage Hand invisible, which beforehand only arcane tricksters could do that. Its range is 30 feet when you cast it, if you already knew it.
Actually, what it's saying is if you already know this spell, its range increases by 30 feet when you cast it.
Oh. Thank you.
Its spellcasting ability is the ability increased by the feat.
Thank you. And also as a bonus action, you can telekinetically shove somebody. When you do, it must succeed a strength throw equal to 8 plus your proficiency plus the ability modifier of the score increased by this feat, or moved 5 feet away from you. A creature can willingly fail this save. Telepathic, you're telepathic, and you can cast Detect Thoughts. Int, charisma, or wisdom up by 1. They're giving us a lot of telepathy in this book. Also, here, a telepathic bard on top of a unicorn using telepathy to inspire her wizard.
Because this is what happens sometimes in D&D. Don't question how the halfling came to have a unicorn as a mount.
Who knows? Maybe she summoned it with Summon Celestial. So, do you want to go over group patrons? We have half an hour left.
I think we've got a little bit of time. I'm going to take a quick bio break. I will be less than 5 minutes.
And when you get back, I'll hit the next chapter and scroll to a situation where you can read, and then I got to do that.
Okay. Oh, hey, look, Tasha at work.
Oh, yeah. Along with some red caps, whatever evil pixies those are. Christ, girl. Leave that for her. Hi, chat. How we doing? How we liking Tasha's? Seems pretty decisive in the D&D community. Some people love everything that's been Brennan, some people hate it.
Okay, I have returned.
Yay. Here's a section for you to read on how patrons work. I'll be back.
Okay. The following sections present several group patron options. The description of each patron provides an overview of the types of organizations the group patron represents, perks of membership, and the quests the patron encourages adventurers to undertake. With the input of your DM, you can customize these patrons to reflect specific establishments in your campaign world, or to serve as a launchpad tailored for organizations of your design. For example, the Guild Group patron could represent the Harpers or the Zentrum of the Forgotten Realms, the Clifftop Adventurers Guild in Eberron, or a homebrew league of caravan guards. Perhaps a criminal syndicate, military force, or other category of patron better fits the party's goals. Choose and customize the group patron that works best for your party and the types of adventures you want to explore. Group assistance. Having a group patron gives an adventuring group a common purpose, which inspires better coordination in the form of guidance and encouragement. As a result of this unity, each member of the party can grant advantage to an ability check, an advantage roll, or a saving throw to another member of the party. That can really come in clutch in some situations.
Yep.
Oh, hey, Felix, you're back.
I was always here.
Oh. I just finished the group assistance section.
Yay. Let me scroll down a little bit.
To grant I'm sorry, I finished the bit where it said grant advantage and what to.
Yep, no, I heard you.
To grant advantage in this way, a character and the chosen target must be able to see or hear each other, and neither can be incapacitated. Once a party member grants this advantage, that individual can't do so again until they finish a long rest. And Bean, I'm glad this book is exceeding your expectations.
All right.
Perks. A group patron offers your party a number of perks for your service. These range from standard business arrangements, such as a steady wage and access to staff facilities, to extraordinary boons, such as audience with powerful figures or exemptions from certain laws. Specific perks are presented in the descriptions of each group patron. The DM should not feel limited to providing only the perks noted in each group patron's description. Patrons give a party access to solutions and support they wouldn't have otherwise. A patron can use their varied resources to guide their agents or prepare them for greater adventures. Assignments. A more hands-off patron can still significantly motivate your group. Maybe you seek adventures based on what pleases your patron, possibly earning status and rewards within your organization. An academy, for example, might not organize particular missions, so you hunt down ancient artifacts knowing that your patron will reward you for bringing them back. You have the freedom to chart your own destiny while letting the patron shape the nature of your group and the adventures you undertake. Example patrons. Here we have 8 of them.
Yep.
Academy.
Want to go through them?
Academy. Ancient being, aristocrat, criminal syndicate, guild, military force, religious order, and sovereign.
Let's go through these, and that'll probably be the stream.
Yeah,
and then we'll
today.
do magic stuff.
We'll do magical miscellany tomorrow. Academy. For all
and then Friday, once we're all done with the book on Friday, let's play some Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, assuming I can get my copy to behave.
Right.
Academy. For all you novice wizards thinking about magic training, seriously consider apprenticing. I know liches who are still paying off their academy loans.
I'm just imagining a lich in his lair reading this letter from the bank about his loans. Like, how do they keep finding me?
I'm undead!
I knew I shouldn't have put my phylactery down as a down payment. Damn it!
Anywho. The world's mysteries are innumerable, but you pursue them with vigor. As operatives for an academy, you seek to unravel the secrets of existence and the deeper riddles beyond. In your work, you brush shoulders with the wisest in the land, travel to places spoken of in myth, and discover truths beyond imagining. Denying ignorance, you pursue wondrous sights and endlessly unearth new facts. Undiscovered creatures, the covetous dead, and jealous rivals impede your work, but in the pursuit of knowledge, no risk is too great. Types of academies. Any assemblage of scholars and truth seekers can function as an academy. Generally, an academy unites a network of learned individuals, allowing them to share their knowledge, further their research, and support common goals. Passing on wisdom to the next generation is also part of an academy's mandate, but members find opportunities to undertake far-flung research expeditions. Only so much can be learned in a library, after all. An academy's focus can be broad or singular, artistic or scientific, mundane or magical. For every topic with unexplored possibilities, an academy seeks to plumb its depths and elevate its study. Roll or pick from the academy table to determine the institution with which you are aligned. 1.
6 academies.
1. Boarding school. 2. Arcane enclave. 3. Secret monastery. 4. Elite institute. 5. Vault of secrets. And 6. Museum of dreams.
And here we have some academy members learning some magic stuff and just hanging out. It's like Food Wars, but for wizards.
Harry Potter is also an excellent analog.
I know, I've just been... Oh, they're boyfriends! Aw!
That's adorable!
Aw!
That is so cute! Relax while their classmates practice magic. That is so adorable, I'm gonna die.
Aw. They're cute. They're cute. Academy perks.
Compensation. They will pay you. The nature of your employment influences your compensation. The academy pays you for the work you do on its behalf. The nature of your employment influences your compensation. On average, the academy pays each member of your group 1 gold piece per day, or enough to sustain a modest lifestyle. Alternatively, you receive a bounty, at least 250 gold, for each artifact or relevant discovery you bring back from your adventures and donate to the academy.
Documentation.
Each member of your group has identification documenting your denoting I can too speak.
You're having the problem I was having earlier.
Yeah, denoting your affiliation with the academy. This association carries clout in scholarly or artistic circles. This academy also secures documentation, letters of introduction, and traveling papers if your work requires them. Such documents grant you special status, such as access to forbidden regions or neutral standing in embattled areas. Such identification isn't always a boon, though. In a land frequently plundered by foreigners, your documents could mark you as nothing more than aggrandized looters to some.
Research.
Research is part of your group's job, but your patron also has abundant resources to facilitate such efforts. You can call in a favor to delegate the work of researching lore, a downtime activity described in the player's handbook and Xanathar's Guide to Everything, to a colleague, contact librarian, or research assistant. You're responsible for covering expenses incurred as part of this research, and the DM determines its success or failure.
Resources.
Academies host libraries, museums, record repositories, and training facilities, and you can use them to further your work. You can call in a favor from faculty members to access resources not available to the public, dangerous relics or magical items, spellbooks, gear, and the like. Additionally, you can consult the faculty of your academy as the experts in various fields.
Training.
Because you're associated with the academy, you receive a discount on any education you wish to pursue. When you undergo training as a downtime activity, as described in the player's handbook or Xanathar's Guide to Everything, you pay half the normal cost, assuming the academy teaches that subject. Training in languages, musical instruments, and other tools is also available at the DM's discretion. In addition, you can gain proficiency in arcana, history, nature, or religion skills by this method, as if you were learning a language. A character can learn only one of these skills in this way.
Next, we could roll for an academy contact.
Yep.
which could be anything from a harried functionary to an infatuated tourist.
A distant observer, a spectral fragment, a wizened fixture, a fantastically old, believed to be deceased librarian gives you assignments to the circulation desk they never leave.
Yep. And we have Academy factotums.
Basically, people you might be encountering in the academy.
Students, groundskeeper.
Groundskeepers, professors, researchers, the people who help keep the place running financially, and expert speakers.
And they have all these different backgrounds. And this is more a DM thing here.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff we're seeing is good peeks like behind the curtain in terms of how does the DM do what the DM do? This is how the DM do what the DM do.
And the quests. Like, yeah, this is interesting stuff. But this is definitely the DM section.
Yes.
Ancient beings. Tasha?
Anytime an unfathomably powerful entity sweeps in and offers godlike rewards in return for just a few teensy favors, it's a scam. Unless it's me. I'd never lie to you, reader dearest.
Why do I feel lied to?
Because it's Tasha. You should be on edge.
So, ancient beings, you could have anything from an elder dragon, a celestial, a primal manifestation. Although, to be fair, a group helping out an ancient gold dragon, that sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, that can be a fun time. Because gold dragons and the other metallics are generally good aligned.
Yeah, just having a patron elder brass dragon. He's not going to help you fight at all. Oh, hey. Azalin.
Oh,
Azalin
hey.
the Lit spies on Castle Ravenloft.
Whee!
So.
Oh, Blinn. Elder dragons are a different sort of thing in this world, are a different thing than what you're thinking. In this book's world, an elder dragon is simply referring to a dragon of a certain age. Not a creature that defies all other classifications, like in the world you are from. And yes, being a group that has to repay a debt to a chromatic dragon could definitely fit this. So.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So from your ancient being, you get the following perks. Equipment.
Basically, you can find stuff.
Yep.
Research.
Dragons know things.
Sanctuary.
Bunch of safe houses or secure gatherings.
You're living in the dragon's basement.
And strange gifts. The dragon will give you supernatural gifts.
As described in the DM's guide. Basically, it will just occasionally go, here.
Yeah. And there's contacts again. Magical message drops seems the best.
Visions.
Yeah. And now we have operative rules.
Devotee, infiltrator, mouthpiece, pupil, guardian, and offspring.
Tiny baby gold dragons.
Those are adorable.
And the quests. Astral heists sound fun.
Yeah.
Then another patron, the aristocrat.
There's a bandit kingdom saying I'm forgetting. Something like, those who rub against money are closest when the collectors come. I don't remember the specifics, but it seems applicable here. Your group serves at the pleasure of a member of nobility. Motivated by money, power, and politics, your patron uses your group to further their agenda without dirtying their hands. Or perhaps they send you to the palaces of their enemies as envoys of peace. In exchange for loyalty and discretion, your patron is a powerful ally whose favor bestows far more than gold. Types of aristocrat.
So you could have a local lord, a merchant mastermind, a nomadic princeling, a double dealer, an ambitious entrepreneur, or a future ruler.
Who, depending on how the DM plays him, you may want to dope slap him a couple times.
And here is Elf Lady Aristocrat.
Yep.
So they cover your expenses. You are nearly immune to prosecution.
Borderline diplomatic immunity.
Your luxury.
Basically, they will temporarily put you up.
And they give you a salary.
Aristocratic contact. Time to determine who serves as their proxy.
A common contact.
Professional, family peacemaker.
An intimate connection.
Noble-born confidant or lover of your patron guides you in creating circumstances to bolster the noble family's best interests.
An outside insider.
Basically the black sheep of the family.
An outsider inside. And then retainers.
Advisor, bodyguard, informant, house staff, messenger, and scion.
And quests.
Noble union. Business breakthrough, sabotage rival, lost lineage, origin of nobility, and new nobility.
Criminal syndicate.
Oh, Tasha's opinion is gold here.
Yep.
Crime? What's the point? Why steal from someone when you can simply outwit them? Or turn them into a toad? She's not wrong!
No, Tasha's a scary lady.
I kind of imagine her as the Iron Fist in the Velvet Glove type of ruler.
Yep. And then there's types of criminal syndicates. A thieves guild, an assassin society, a magical arms dealer, a pirate fleet, body snatchers, or thought thieves.
Those last two are definitely potentially world-specific.
Yep.
Perks!
Assignments.
Basically... The what ruler? Okay, so Iron Fist in a Velvet Glove type of ruler is one where they look nice and soft and everything's fine, but then when they decide to tighten their grip just a little bit, you realize exactly in how much danger you are. Is that a good explanation, Felix?
I think so.
Fair enough. Contraband.
Yep.
You potentially know where to find illegal stuff.
Fences. You can sell off stolen goods. Safe houses.
Syndicate-owned businesses.
Business.
And your contact. You get a 5% discount.
Yeah. Contact. A personal mentor. A clever urchin. Former law enforcement. Bon vivant. A traitor. Or criminal royalty. And then, oh, this guy!
Old Aloft Slygar. The pet fish of the crime lord Xanathar. It's like, here's your fish!
Oh my god. Syndicate members, a burglar, the muscle, a con artist, the cleaner, a mastermind, and a mole. Syndicate quests.
Acquisition and retrieval, heists, gang warfare, enforcement, assassination, and toppling the powerful.
And then guilds.
There's power in groups. One bee's a pest, but nobody messes with the swarm.
Once again, fair, Tasha. Once again, fair.
Yeah.
Guild types: a crafters guild, a merchant consortium, a miracle makers association. Money changers.
Philosophical faction, or identity traders. I think you fully know why you have been metaphorically turned into a newt.
A hero fights the bullywog, guards the villainous master of the Bakers Guild.
Sometimes adventures can go fully off the rails.
Only in D&D.
Yeah. Guild perks. Accommodations.
Equipment. Resources.
Versus.
And training.
Now for your guild contact. The perfectionist. The attentive overseer. Hidden benefactor. Discerning mentor. Golem guide. Or fallen muse.
Oh, Fallen Celestial.
Okay, those exist.
Representative roles.
Researcher, negotiator, saboteur, guard, explorer, and expert.
Quests.
Deliver goods, acquire materials, eliminate a rival, missing masterpiece, the collector, and the bill comes due.
Military force. Hi, Ava.
You're not wrong. The whole machine of war is barbaric. In a sane world, conflicts will be resolved by contests of apocalyptic magics, by continent reshaping brawls between titanic soul-fueled reptiles. You know, reasonable options.
Excuse me, is that a Godzilla reference, Tasha?
Maybe!
Types of military forces.
Standing army, i.e., what Ava
Hi,
deals
Ava.
with.
Hi,
Mercenary
Ava.
company. Expeditionary forces. Horde. Planar conscripts and sky warriors. Essentially, the Navy, but it flies.
Oh, hey.
Dragonborn messenger of the Purple Dragon Knights.
He's got a weird face. It's like weirdly wide. Do you see that?
I'm going to put that just to the angle.
Yeah, like he should be snouted out. It just looks
Strange.
It looks kind of froggy.
Let's cease roasting the blue Dragonborn.
No, as a red dragonborn, it is my job.
Oh. Armory. Chain of command. Official access. Orders. And salary.
And just salary.
Military.
Small salary, though.
Yeah. Command. Who is our CEO in all of this?
A tested veteran, a taskmaster, a protective officer, a bitter soldier, a hopeful commander, or devout leader.
Whee!
Devout leader, otherwise read as paladin.
Yep.
Also, you have a question in the chat.
Kind of, sort of, but could you scroll up a bit to the tables of types of military? It's described sails airships as a sky navy, so that's what I'm gonna call it. Is it the Air
Sky
Force? Navy. Technically, yes.
Sky Navy.
But the book calls it Sky Navy, so that's what I'm gonna call it. Military force envoys. Combatant, tactician, medic, scout, provocateur, and spy.
Hey, look! Hi, Ava.
Oh, God. Military quests. Strike Force. Defensive operations. Special Forces. Reconnaissance. Seek and destroy. Siege.
Only 2 more of these, and then we gotta wrap up stream.
Yeah.
But luckily, there's only 2 more left, and then a how-to to build your own patron.
Yep. Religious order. Sure. Serve that religious order, and soon you'll be doing 1,000 loads of your high priest's laundry because, conveniently, it's divine will. Glad to know your opinions on religion, Tasha.
Love you, Tasha. Love all of it. I agree with all of it. It's all good.
Yeah, just glad to know your opinions.
Types of religious orders.
Undead hunters. Devout scholars. Relic collectors. Charitable missionaries. Militant inquisitors. And doomsaying evangelists. We used the hi Ava because she herself is, because Ava, my character in the podcast Dice Setch, which can be found wherever you get your podcasts, is
Apple, Spotify, and Google Play.
is a soldier. Well, she's technically just a scout and is on leave at the moment, but she is still a soldier.
Speaking of religious orders,
Acolytes preparing for a Coatl festival.
look at him. Look at the boy.
He just looks so peaceably majestic.
Look at the boy. Look at the boy. Religious order perks.
Divine service. So occasionally you can go quietly ask a priest, "Hi, we need some help."
We need a resurrection.
Do you have the body? Holds up body. Oh, yes, we'll get on that. Equipment.
We need to revivify. I hit him with gentle repose.
Okay. Equipment. Proficiencies, and now for your religious order. Contact. Shadow Tongue, a mysterious speaker for your order, advises against your next steps but fears being discovered by a powerful rival faith. Inspired Creator. Mysterious Text. Fierce Inquisitor. Beloved Healer. And God speaking to you directly.
Religious order members.
Counselor, Defender, Ascetic, Inquisitor, Emissary, and Chosen One.
Religious order quests.
Safe Escape, Relic Recovery, Cult Hunt, Desperate Pilgrimage, Expunge Heresy, and Prevent Prophecy.
Sovereign ruler.
Oh boy. I've never had much interest in ruling, partly because the titles all sound so stuffy. But Witch Queen has a lovely ring to it, don't you think?
Types of sovereigns.
Village Elder, Young Noble.
Hey, you're back.
What?
The young noble was also a choice for aristocrat.
Yep, Young Noble. Shipwrecked Governor. Ruler Returned. Hidden Power. And True Regent.
Perks. Oh, hey.
Merfolk.
Merfolk King.
Yep. In other words, somebody Mornist might end up dealing with in the future.
Oh, God.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Elite access. While in service of the sovereign, you have access to the highest echelons of society. Expenses. He will pay you.
Immunity.
And, well, he will pay you.
Contact.
Intimate confidant. Spy master. Administrator. Executive assistant. Envoy. Spectral assembly. So in other words, the Council of the Dead.
Yep. They're proxies.
Advisor, ambassador, secret agent, champion, jester, and their confidant.
Quests.
International espionage, undermine rival, expel corruption, subvert blame, test air, desperate diplomacy.
And then
Build
this
your
picture.
own.
Also, satyr again. Goat legs.
Pretty sure that. Then why is there a tail?
That's a good question. Tiefling without horns.
Right. Let's scroll down a little bit to get the context for this. In the city of Sigil, Guildmaster Reese finds that finding capable recruits is one of the main challenges of being a patron.
Yep.
Exhibit A, this chucklehead.
The Tabaxi looks so concerned.
Either that or they're trying to hide that they're laughing.
A little bit of both. Look at the eyes.
They're just like, oh geez, dude, you okay?
Yep. You can run your own organization using the running a business downtime activity. There's a little bit of other stuff.
Yeah, don't discount the value of adopting an NPC to help you out while you're out doing adventure-y stuff.
Yep.
So, yeah, this is the stuff we were able to get through today.
Got through all the classes, at least.
Yep. And next time, we will be doing Magical Miscellany. Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, we'll leave it on this picture of Tasha talking to a demon lord.
Yeah. Thank you all for coming, and I hope you all are able to join us tomorrow. If you are not subscribed, please take a moment to do so. We would love to have you, and we hope to see you all again soon. Bye for now.